Hello, everybody, and welcome to That Tracks Podcast, a podcast where Nick is currently tracking the domestic box office revenue for Inside Out 2 because this weekend, it surpassed so many films to take the number two spot in all-time animated movies. It is number two, just behind Incredibles 2. It is past Super Mario Brothers. It is past Frozen 2. It is past Finding Dory. It is number two on the list for debut weekends of animated features, and I am so freaking excited.
All number
Anyways,
twos. Finding Dory.
yeah.
Uh,
No, but
all time animated.
all-time animated features, Inside Out 2 takes the second spot for opening weekend. I am pumped. I love Inside Out.
Oh,
Inside Out has always been one of my favorite Disney movies, and now Inside Out 2 is my favorite Pixar movie. I will go on record saying that. It's hard for me to put it past some of the Toy Story movies, but I love it. Anyways, we'll talk more about that in a minute. There's a giant elephant in the room, and
who
by
is
that,
that strange voice?
and by that I mean my best friend Hunter. Everybody, welcome Hunter Hazen to the podcast. Thank you for tracking with us today, Hunter.
We're tracking. Long time listener, first time caller, as they say.
You actually are the first official non-spouse guest on That Tracks podcast. It's a big
Wow,
deal.
I'm honored. Does my name go in the title now?
No, sorry.
Oh, this is an interview episode featuring me?
Maybe no, no,
Oh
no.
no.
Maybe we'll put you in the title of this episode, but I'm sorry, not in the official podcast.
Well, of course not. Of course not.
But yeah, so some of you, especially those who are on Patreon, may be familiar somewhat with Hunter because he was in a special Patreon video with me. Hunter, I'm sure, saw that because he's a huge supportive friend and a big Patreon listener.
Heyo.
Um, so Hunter has been my best friend for a while now. We have really gotten close over the last year. Hunter and I have known each other for quite some time. In fact, the first time that we ever really interacted with each other was on air. It was on a podcast episode. I went back and listened to those episodes this past weekend. Hunter is one of the hosts slash owners of a podcast called The Happiest Podcast on Earth. It is where I really started podcasting for the first time. It's where I developed a love and a passion for podcasting. I had a Disney Instagram account called Dreamin' Disney Dad for a while, and actually the owner of the podcast at the time reached out to me. His name is Jarrett. Jarrett reached out to me, asked me if I'd be interested in coming to help do YouTube videos. Had a blast with that, got to know the crew a little bit, and then Hunter reached out via Instagram and was like, "Hey Nick, Hunter Hazen here from the Happiest Podcast on Earth." Very official.
Did I really use first and last name?
You were
Not like
very
my handle's not just my first and last
right.
name.
It
Like
might
I
have
had to
also you
introduce
might have just
myself.
said Hunter, but it was a very official thing for sure. Which
Hmm.
was funny because I had been listening to the podcast for a while, so I was very familiar with who you were. But you reached out and you were like, "Hey, we're thinking about doing a special for Father's Day coming up, and we
We
wondered
need
if you
some
would,
dads,
yeah, you'd be interested in
basically.
hopping on." Yeah, because at the time. So Hunter's a dad, which is why he's on this episode with me today, literally today. Tonight is Father's Day. So
Yep. Kids are asleep. Kids are asleep.
the
So
the
it's
boys are
it's
in bed.
after.
I would imagine that mine are not totally in bed yet because we had a long day and we just got home from Magic Kingdom and also seeing Inside Out 2 for the second time. But Hunter is a dad. I'll let him share more about himself. I won't steal all of
Oh,
his steal
didn't
all of
prepare
his
anything.
steal all of his thunder. But yeah, we met on a podcast.
But I was only a dad for like 3 months.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
was like, hey, I'm gonna do this how to Disney Dad Edition episode, but I kind of have zero experience, even though I technically qualify as a dad.
Right.
But you offered most of that experience with older kids that you
Yeah.
were able to actually go to the park with them. So
Yeah. So at the time, this was 3 years ago, and at the time, I had Luke, and Luke was 4, which is wild to think about, like 4-year-old Luke, because he's so different now. And then we did not have Ethan yet. We were in the process of adopting. We were still waiting. I think at that point we hadn't shared it publicly, but we had received Ethan's file and had like put in a letter to um sort of request the match with Ethan, and we were waiting to find out if we had officially matched with him or not. So that's kind of exciting and funny to think back on that like we knew about Ethan, but we didn't know for sure whether or not he was going to like officially be a part of the family. It
Hmm.
wasn't until we submitted that paperwork in May, and then it wasn't until August that we got like the official call that Ethan would be a little Foster. So
Little
um,
Foster.
yeah, so it was fun. It was a good series. If you guys ever want to go back and listen to it, it's on the Happiest Podcast on Earth channel. You can find that like wherever you listen to podcasts. They're not totally on YouTube, so maybe one day, maybe that'll be a
We are
venture they take on
definitely
in the
not
future.
totally on YouTube.
There
We are
are
the
some,
opposite of on YouTube right now.
well, there's some YouTube videos out there, and they were vlogs
Yeah.
that actually I helped shoot and edit. And then I think one of the other cast of the Happiest Podcast did some as well. Her name is AJ.
Yep.
But good times, lots of memories with the happiest podcast on earth. I hop on and do episodes every once in a while whenever they are ready to have me back. But yeah, anyways, Hunter also, you guys are probably familiar with this name because Hunter is the friend that I went to Disneyland with back in May. He's the man who rented the Corvette, which a lot of you were very excited
Hey.
about. But we did. We had a good trip. You know, we've talked about it on here. We've talked about it on Happiest Podcast. There were highs and lows to the trip for sure. Some high moments, a lot of fun times, but then there were some low moments with Nick and his mental health. And ultimately, like Hunter really showed up and was there for me in a lot of those low moments, and it just really made me appreciate him that much more while we were in Disneyland. It really like solidified the depth in my mind to our friendship, and we just Hunter and I are known as being completely opposite of one another. Well, that is sort
Yeah.
of our that's sort of our like personality on the Happiest Podcast, and it was for a long time. Hunter would be very negative about things, and I would chime in with
Well,
my positivity.
in a nice way, in a playful way.
Pretty
I like
critical for
I
sure.
like to be the ego before ego, had his Ratatouille moment,
It's true. It's true. But
but
I feel like you've
in a
turned a
nice
new
way.
leaf since we've gotten closer, so I'm very proud of you for
Yeah. Yeah.
that.
You've started to
Influence.
influence me
Yeah.
slightly, and I'm starting to influence you, bringing you to my side. We'll
I
meet in
don't
the
know.
middle somewhere.
Yeah, there you go. We balance each other out. But yeah, so we have a good time together, and I'm just super grateful for Hunter and the friend that he is in my life. I'm super grateful that this space brought me Hunter. But I've basically said all of the things. Go ahead, share something about
Thanks.
yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your family unit look like? You're a dad. What does that look like for you? Go
Oh
ahead.
man, I didn't write out my biography before this. Well, thank you, Nick. I do appreciate you as well. I know you kind of went off on a monologue kind of there. I feel like I should have prepared something as well, but thank you. We did have a lot of fun. And yes, you have taught me a lot, and I feel like I've become a better person being your friend for sure.
Oh
So
my gosh,
looking
wow.
forward,
It's
looking forward to wherever our paths take us,
one of the
and
nicest things you've ever said to me on air.
especially
On
as we butt heads on this or that Father's Day edition later on this episode. I
we
can't wait
will.
to let the opposites shine once again because I feel like that's when we're our strongest, when we're
True.
just bam bam. But yeah, my name's Hunter. I am in North Texas, DFW, so hard for me to get a lot of park content. I'm kind of strictly on the Happiest Podcast doing, weekly episodes, not really boots on the ground as you are, Nick. So I grew up going to Disney. My grandparents worked there. They retired, then moved there and worked 2 days a week. So that was like our family vacation every year going to see them. So that's where I got the bug for Disney parks and also Disney media and stuff like that. But have one son, Sebastian, call him Baby Bash, and one on the way. Scotty coming in September. So my wife Maddie as well. So soon to be four of us here. I am currently in a makeshift corner spot in our bedroom because our office is no longer an office. So I am homeless in terms of podcast recording studios, but we're gonna get there.
I love it.
But yeah,
The
I like driving fast cars and just making Nick nervous on the streets of LA when I get a chance.
that you did for
Yeah.
sure.
And
Uh,
I am OG Test Track and soaring over California for life. And
yes.
yeah, that's my personality.
Yeah, your favorite attraction of all time is soaring over California.
It's
Um,
perfection.
yeah, he has strong opinions on this for sure. He will not be convinced otherwise. And
Yeah,
then what's your
never.
favorite Disney park?
Mm. As you get older, it kind of goes to the typical for like, I feel like as a kid, you're always like, it was Hollywood Studios before Hollywood Studios kind of got shuffled. I
Yeah.
would say Animal Kingdom now, which
Really?
yeah, immersiveness, theming. I could spend a lot of time in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. It's
And it's weird
fantastic.
how it goes. Like when you're a kid, especially when I was a kid, like early 2000s before Expedition Everest, all of that. I mean, it was a less than half a day park, right? But from what it is now, I really like it. I think
Yeah.
it's the best, most immersive, kind of cohesive idea in a park, right? So,
Yeah. This is going to
yeah,
maybe
RIP
jump.
Hollywood Studios.
He has also strong opinions on that. One thing you'll learn about Hunter is that he definitely has his opinions on Disney parks for sure.
I'm just saying, lights, motors, action. Like,
Yeah.
let's figure out how to bring it back, you
I
know?
mean, if we could have both, if we could have that with all of the
Yeah.
new things, I'd be a happy camper for sure.
Yeah. Just
This is
think
going
if
to
they had a whole new park with Pandora, Galaxy's Edge, like just a fifth gate, and then you could have kept everything that made the old ones amazing.
yeah,
Camp Mickey Minnie. I mean, let's go. That place was awesome.
bring it all
Okay,
back.
I'm kidding on that one. I like Pandora a little more.
I think I would definitely bring Toontown back to Magic Kingdom somehow if it was
Yeah.
possible. But
I did enjoy Toontown. And then you've
um,
got you've got Goofy Sky School, which is like the Berenstain Bears of like what was it in Toontown? Was it the same? Did they change the track? I just
yeah,
don't know if I remember it the right way, but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay as it is. But
I
yeah,
wrote
Toontown.
that today actually. So um, a little bit of housekeeping information for that tracks. Tim is back from his cruise. They had an excellent time. Saw him today at Magic Kingdom for a little bit. They are just pretty slammed getting like acclimated back from the cruise. They've been super busy. And so Hunter was gracious enough to hop on this episode with me. We originally were going to try to record it a little bit earlier in the week, but life be like that sometimes. And so it didn't
Yep.
work out. And so here we are, Father's Day evening. And you know what? I was thinking about it earlier. This is typical sentimental Nick. Hunter
This
really
is where
loved
it started, and this is where it ends for us.
Hunter really loves Hunter really loves it when Nick gets sentimental. He can do it really well back. But no, I was thinking about it and I was like, wow, like this is fun. Father's Day evening. Obviously, the kids are going to bed, so you want to spend as much time with them on Father's Day as possible. But then when they go to bed, like, I mean, just to be able to hang out with another dad and talk theme
Dads
parks
do
and
what dads
Disney,
do.
yeah,
You
this is
know,
a
it's
good
our
time.
day. We do what we want.
Exactly. I appreciate that. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here on that tracks. And if you guys decide that you like Hunter, you can go listen to Happiest
Oh,
Podcast on Earth. Um,
yikes.
check it out. No, truly, like I appreciate the human. I tell him this all the time, but I appreciate the human that you are, and I'm super grateful for you. So thank you for being here. Now we normally have a button that we push at this point because Tim has all of that, but I don't have that button. But we're gonna just dive right into it because there's a lot to cover in terms of theme park news. And then you guys were fantastic. I posted on our Instagram account for you to submit this or that Disney dad questions, like Disney parks dad questions. They're not just parks, so I'm gonna just say Disney dad questions. Um,
Hmm.
and we have a lot of those to get to. We're probably not going to get through all of them because you guys are incredible and really like came through with the questions. But I want to get through some of the Disney news that we have for this week because there's some pressing things. When Tim comes back next week, he's going to break down all of the cruise information. They got to go to Lookout Key twice. I did get a little bit of some spoiler insider information from them today, and I know that they'll be posting all of their vlogs. So I'm sure you guys will be able to go check those out and get kind of their thoughts. But let's just say they were very optimistic about Lookout Key. So I'm excited for Tim to come on and share more. I'm excited to be back with Tim. It's been a while. Also, for those watching on YouTube, I'm wearing my Hi Dad Soup t-shirt or sweatshirt today because Father's Day. Actually, that reminds me, before we get to news, we've got to do Hi Dad Soup moments. Of all the
Oh,
days, today is the most
I
important day to
mean,
do
it's
Hi
kind of
Dad Soup.
high dad soup day.
So you're familiar with High Dad Soup. You listen to the podcast.
Hmm.
So do you have a moment? And if you don't have it right off the top of your head, that's fine. I can jump into mine. But do you have a moment with Bash? It doesn't have to be from this week. It could be at any point.
Oh,
That you'd
now
like.
you're like giving me no excuses if I'm like, no, I don't have one that
Do you have
comes
any
to
special
mind.
moments with your kid?
Put me on the spot. Well, it was, and we talked about it a little bit before. I was going to say, you mentioned, oh, his first T-ball game was this past weekend. It was his second T-ball game, but the first T-ball game, he was the only one from his team that showed up. But he had a blast. And it's 3-year-old T-ball, like they just show up and all.
Right,
Everybody's on the same team. They just have
right.
fun. This most recent T-ball game, he did not have the best time. He kind of went out for a little bit and then said he was out of energy and then he was tired. And that was,
I love his self-awareness.
oh yeah, yeah, he's very self-aware. Well, he'll just look at you straight at you and just be like, "I'm out of energy. I can't walk." And he just kind of goes lame duck there. So we didn't quite make it through 20 minutes of game week number two. We played 9 holes of golf this weekend. He did a great job. He's getting there.
Yeah,
He likes to go play in the bunkers.
I
But
love it.
we sat down and had a little daddy son movie afternoon, I guess you could say yesterday, and watch Elemental for the first time.
Oh, did you
For
like
my
it?
first time. His second time. I liked
Wow.
it. I
Yeah,
liked it.
I
I'm
love
like
Elemental.
I'm like a little bit behind, obviously, in terms of catching up on my movies. I'll
Yeah.
watch Inside Out 2 in about 3 years.
No, you need to go
Um,
see that in theaters.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a nice movie night and we liked, we make the fort on the little sectional couch, move it out, do like the little cushions, pillows, and all that, and we
Yeah.
had a great time. So those are
That's
special
awesome.
moments for sure for
Yeah,
us.
that's awesome. Did you just watch Elemental or were there other movies?
Well, we watched Elemental, and then we sometimes find ourselves in a hole of like how, like, for some of us, you'd watch YouTube video after YouTube video. We just watch Disney short after Disney short, like the
Okay.
old Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse shorts. We just kind of roll through like 5 or 6 of those, and
I
then we
love
look
it.
up and we're like, "Hey, buddy, we're gonna play now,"
I
because
love
this is
that.
our seventh short. But
That's
it's nice
awesome.
that they're only 2-3 minutes long. But
I
we
love
love it.
it. Good job. That's fun.
Thanks.
The forts, like forts with your kid, I feel like just are like a catalyst for such good memories for
Yeah.
sure. So,
It's forts and wrestling right now.
yes.
So he's 3 for context, but yeah, forts and wrestling.
Yeah.
All he
Did
wants.
you did you wait, you said you liked Elemental?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's a
liked
good
it.
movie. Yeah.
It was
I
good. I thought it was really clever. I mean, it was kind of, I thought for a little bit, it's like, okay, this might be a little bit of a ripoff of Zootopia
yeah.
slash Inside Out. But I think the way that they used like the interactions, like I giggled out loud. I dad laughed.
Wow.
And Maddie was sitting on the couch and he was like, "Are you laughing?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was clever." But like multiple times where she would walk by someone and catch them on fire, like a tree with a bunch of leaves, and you're just like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
unfortunate."
brilliant. Yeah, I love that.
He
Very
starts
cool.
to boil in steam and all that. And they each, and I told Maddie this, I was like, it's beautiful. They each give up a part of who they are so they can be together. It's amazing.
Wow. Look
But
at
yeah.
you trying
I
to
I liked it. I liked it. But
I'm
what
so
can I
proud of you
say?
right now. Good
Yeah.
job.
Toy Story 2 still number one for Pixar for me though.
I understand that. I mean, the Toy
Yeah.
Story movies are part of our childhood, so you can't really
Hmm.
like touch those. But Inside Out 2, let me tell you, some
Yeah.
good stuff. I've seen it twice now,
You've
and
contributed to that box office success.
absolutely. Actually, technically, I don't know. I don't know that I really have because the first time that I got to watch it was a special early screening, and I don't know that they consider that like a contribution to the box office. So that's why I had to go see it a second time so that I
Mm.
could financially contribute to the movie.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but it's fantastic. It is good. It's such a deep movie. It is so powerful. The theming. I'm not going to spoil anything because I know a lot of people are going to want to go watch it. But the depth in that movie is so well written, and it really depicts anxiety and the effects that anxiety can have on your brain so well in an animated way. It's just brilliant. There's like I talked about it with Francie for a long time, just like the different like symbolism that is involved. It's just so
Hmm.
good. I don't want
Sometimes
to
anxiety just takes over the control panel and nothing you can do about it.
yeah, yeah. And it's wild when it does, that's for sure. So, um, I think everybody should go watch it. So,
If
and
yeah,
I think
if
it's
we did
really
an episode of all of each of our like who are our 5 in charge, that would be a funny one.
yeah, like what are
I'd be
your
like the dad where like all 5 are like all anger. No, not anger. Maybe some
no.
joy in there. But
No, there it's funny. There's moments for sure and mom and dad may or may not have a little anxiety in them as well. So,
oh, spoiler alert.
can't spoil anything.
Now I can't go see the movie.
So let's hop into our Disney news. I didn't share my high dad suit moment. Oh
Yeah,
my
what's your high
gosh.
dad suit moment?
You know, there are so many of them. We had such a fun weekend together.
Don't show me up here.
No, I really did. I had such good times with the boys this weekend. I think the thing that jumps into my brain immediately is that Ethan just started swimming without his floaty, which is a big deal. And it was like, I just hopped into the pool with him and I was like, "Do you want to take it off?" He had never really swam without it on before. And he said, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Okay." So I took it off and immediately he started swimming. Like, no big deal, no problem. And I'm like, "Where has this been the entire time?" And it probably has been there. He's just like, "Well, this is what you give me, so this is what I'm supposed
When
to
you've got
do."
the floaties, you got to work with them.
Yeah,
But
so he's doing an excellent job with that. I mean, I don't he's not ready to swim like too far into the deep end just yet, but if he hangs close to the wall, he can kind of go back and forth. And that's the biggest thing to teach him is just like, all right, stay close to the wall. And if you feel you're getting tired, where do you go? And he knows you go to the wall. So I
yeah.
used to teach swim lessons when I was younger. Don't know if you knew that about
Oh,
me. Yeah.
no, no. Bash had a week of swim lessons.
Yeah.
A little over a week ago. I guess it'll be 2 weeks ago. Didn't go
Yeah.
great. He it was it was at the local YMCA, but they had a different teacher every time. So it's like
Oh.
they never had caught like a track of like how he was progressing, and he would always sit on on the side and just decide, oh, I'm just gonna jump in. And they'd be helping another kid, and he'd just decide he wants to jump in. But
He's ready to go. Bash is
yeah,
one of the coolest kids in the world. I got to hang out with Hunter and his family back in January at the parks for a bit, and I got to spend some time with Bash. And I was walking out of the park with him, holding him, and he was just like rambling on and on about certain things. And
oh,
I
so many questions right
I love it.
now.
I miss that stage so much. It's such a fun age.
He's Forky questions everything right now. Just why do we have money? Why do we have this?
It's the best. That is such a fun time for sure. Did you
Yeah,
have any like, do you have any Father's Day like traditions that you guys do in your family? Not really. You're not a
not
big
a one.
traditions guy. Yeah.
Zero traditions here. I mean, we went to my parents' house, and that's kind of the gathering place with the pool.
Yeah.
Watched the U.S. Open. Shout out Bryson DeChambeau for the win.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah,
Hunter's a
pretty
big
cool.
golfer. I don't personally relate. I'm not a big golfer guy myself, but I know that people listening probably love golf. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, shout out. My dad definitely watched it. I was named after a golfer, so I feel like I don't technically like live up to my namesake very well. I'm kidding, of course. But yeah, I'm just not good at it. Part of the thing that
Mm.
we got to do this weekend, we were hosted at the Hilton Orlando this past weekend, which was phenomenal. The hotel is so incredible. There's so many things that the hotel offers that make it a like destination. A lot of times when you get like a third party hotel, it's just a hotel
One
to
of the
stay at.
good neighbor. Is that technically a good neighbor
It's a
hotel, or is
good
it
neighbor for
outside?
Universal.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So it's closer to Universal and it's like right across the street from SeaWorld. It's like right next to the convention center
Okay.
in Orlando. But the hotel itself is a place that I would totally go stay at, like we did this weekend, stay at for the weekend, and you don't feel like you have to leave the hotel, which to me is a good sign of a solid hotel in the Orlando area because the pool has a lazy river, it has water slide, it has a splash pad, it has an adult only area. It obviously has like hot tubs. They set us up with a private cabana by the pool, which was phenomenal. Literally, I didn't have to lift a finger this weekend. I was eating left and right. But last night, so this is Sunday night, so Saturday night, they hooked us up with a Top Golf swing suite,
Oh yeah.
which,
Those are
yeah,
fun.
it's an interesting time for sure. Well, for
Oh,
one,
it's everything you could ask for.
well, it's so I don't
Last.
golf. So
Oh, okay.
the golf
Yikes.
situation was not great for me or the rest of the family. We didn't know what we were doing with that. But there's other games that you can play. And the way that this works is like there's a screen and you will basically either like hit golf balls, throw footballs, baseballs, whatever at the screen. And it's sort of like I I, I want to say like virtual reality because when you throw the ball shows up on the screen and then
Hmm.
it like takes out whatever you're doing. So if you play
Yeah.
football, you're throwing passes to receivers. The game that we stuck with the most as a family, we had fun. We did all of them. We tried golf. It did not go well. Hockey
Disappointed.
also wasn't the best for us either. But we did a lot of football. We played some soccer. The goalie, like the
Too
computer
good.
Yeah, like way too good. I mean, there were some good shots on goal, and he was blocking them left and right.
You're just like, wow, this guy's rude.
Yeah, we're done with this. We thought we were on beginner level, and we were. It was like, what does advanced look like? You can't even score on those goalies.
Mhm.
Um, but the game that we played the most was carnival games. So you can like throw the baseball at like they're almost like vases that are stacked. It's basically
Yeah,
just a
bottle
carnival game.
toss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like bottles.
yeah.
It's a good time. That was fun. We played that one the most. We had that suite to ourselves, which was fun. It was just the four of us in this really like big room that was like it was in this like back door.
Mhm.
And they were bringing us food left and right. It was good. It was a good time. We also played zombie dodgeball quite a bit, which was also very
Oh
interesting
dear.
and slightly terrifying. Yeah, but it was good. It was a good time. We had fun.
That
We had a
that
great
reminds me of the
conversation.
Void. Have you done the Void
I never
before?
got to do the void.
When it was
No.
the Star Wars one, they had
Yeah,
that up here in Dallas, and that was a lot of fun.
I never
What
got to
it
do
was
it.
like all the scenery that you would touch like matched what was overlaid, and then there was like it was on Mustafar, and you were chasing down Darth Vader, and then you
Wow.
went like outside, and they pumped heat, like wind and
Oh,
heat
that's
at
cool.
you, so it was
Yeah,
intense.
that's really cool. That's you do that with VR goggles on. This wasn't like
Yeah,
VR
yeah,
goggles or
yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is
But
just the screen, yeah.
yeah. But very cool. Great weekend.
Mhm.
Hilton Orlando. I'm gonna sing its praises for a while because there were so many like fun amenities at the hotel. And then it today we drove from the hotel to Magic Kingdom. It was like a 20-minute drive. Not bad at all. It's like 15 minutes to get to Hollywood Studios. Um, yeah, great time. And huge thank you to Hilton Orlando for having me out if they listen to this because it was fantastic. I covered all of that content on Instagram at the theme park dad. So if you guys want to go check out any of that stuff, you can do it.
All
So,
right.
news. There's a lot that I experienced this week that I want to jump into, and I thought about waiting until Tim was back, but I think it'll be fun. Hunter obviously doesn't live here, so Hunter doesn't get the opportunity to experience these things. He gets to come to Walt Disney World probably a couple times a year.
Yeah, maybe a
Yeah,
quick weekend here or
yeah.
there, and then one family trip. But yeah,
Hopefully sooner rather than later. But you got to go to Disneyland with me in May, and then you'll be going back to Disneyland for D23
yeah.
coming up in August. So
Disneyland in two times in a year for me is kind of unheard of. So
yeah,
that was
yeah.
only the second time I've been. But yeah, maybe Orlando in the winter, fall. We'll
Well,
see.
you for sure are coming in January because you're going to be running your first Run Disney
That's
event.
it.
Yeah,
That'll be the next time then.
yeah. Well, maybe before that. If it's up to me, you'll get here before that. So.
Yeah, let me just
But
leave my job
well,
and
and not
just
your
go to
job.
Disney.
You're going to be having a child this fall,
That
so.
is true. You can bring the kid. Just strap him on.
Yeah, Luke was 4 months old when he visited Walt Disney World for the first
As long
time.
as they fly free, we're good.
I don't know. I think Maddie might have other things to say about that from the beginning, but
Ah, she'll
hopefully,
stay home. I'll just take the baby myself.
yeah.
It's Father's Day. We can do anything, right?
I don't think that's how that works. Hopefully you're able to make it out. But I'm excited to run your first Run Disney race with you. We won't spend time on that because
Yeah. I should
Tim,
probably start training, but I don't know.
yeah, you should. It's gonna be your first marathon.
Yep. First
Yeah.
time. First time I've run probably over like 800 meters since like college.
What is 800 meters in like
Twice around
in
the track.
yeah, but what would that
Like,
translate to as far as distance goes? I mean, I know
oh,
it's 800
I don't
meters.
know.
We
It's
don't have
half
to
a
get.
mile. Half a mile.
Oh, you've had to have run farther than half a mile.
I'm not a distance runner. No.
Oh, yeah, you better start training.
I'm more of a sprinter.
You're about to run 26 miles.
I'm gonna try to get my bike back, but I
I
only ride my bike like 5 miles. That's not a lot for a bike
I
rider. Just
think
go as
that
fast as I can.
I think that what will be nice is that because you are a sprinter and just knowing you and knowing your personality, you just like you're going to want to go like guns a blazing, but I'm not going to allow that. Like you're going to run with me. And
Is
so and
if
so
they're
I
like quarter-mile intervals between each like character meet and greet, I'll just be like,
no.
cool, sprint to the next one. See you later.
No. I think that that will help you pace yourself because 26 miles is a long ways. It's a
Yeah,
it's
sounds pretty brutal.
it can definitely be brutal. Now, I've only ever like I ran it once, and that was during Dopey last year. I've never run it without having run a half marathon and a 10K and a 5K before it. So just running, and I say just very loosely because it's not just 26 miles, but doing the marathon, it'll be interesting to see what that experience is like for you for sure. So
Yeah.
Anyways, that's
Hey, I mean,
exciting.
I do like 6 miles every time I play golf. I'll walk the golf course. So,
Yeah, there you
there
go.
you go. That's
That's
just
good.
walking though.
It's good warm up. Yeah.
I'll start running the golf course.
With your bag and
Everyone will
everything.
think I'm crazy. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, we're going to get into news. So this
Yeah.
week, lots of things happened at the parks. And when I say parks, I mean both at Disney and Universal. So I'm just going to jump into it. I'll talk about it. But if you have anything to contribute, feel free. If you have any questions, Hunter, feel free because, you're representing all of those listening that don't get to be at the parks that often. So if
Yeah.
you have any questions for me, jump in. But you do have very extensive park knowledge.
This is
So
my favorite where I get to just react and be like, that is good. That is bad.
So
That's what I'm the best at.
we'll start off with last Monday, CommuniCore Hall and Plaza, CommuniCore Plaza opened at EPCOT. There's been a lot of talk about it. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say. I'm going to give my knee-jerk reaction. I really enjoy the space.
Mm.
CommuniCore Plaza looks beautiful. There's a stage, and on that stage, there's a show called Celebración Encanto, and it is basically a sing-along version of Encanto. And there's hosts, and they sing some of the songs from the movie. It's really cool because they have trivia in between each song that they'll ask you, and some of the trivia questions are specific to the movie. Other trivia questions are specific to Colombia, which personally I'm biased, but I really love that because I think Ethan will be excited to. Ethan lights up when he hears the word Colombia because he knows that's where he's from. And so when he hears like Disney performers say that at a Disney park, he's just going to be so excited. And then Mirabel and Bruno join the show towards the end. They like dance along with everybody. As somebody who is Latin, as somebody whose like family came from Cuba, watching Mirabel and Bruno lead a conga line around like Communicore Plaza, that is something that breaks out at like every Cuban wedding that I've been to. And so it was just a moment of like, look at my culture being represented here. Like it's just really special. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it. I loved the show, and it made the plaza that much more fun to me. I will say the plaza itself, there's not a lot of shade. There's a lot of like open areas. And while that would really work well in a climate that it's nice and enjoyable to sit outside in, we don't get that often in Florida. And
Hmm.
so I
Especially at Epcot.
Yeah, I will. I'm fascinated to see how this space is used in the future for festival seasons, because that's what another interesting component of this is that this area has opened without a festival going on at Epcot, and so I don't think it's being utilized fully to its like full potential just yet. And so it'll be interesting to see like what they bring into this space during festival season, where there'll be booths, where will there be I'm sure that this entire space is going to be utilized for festival season. So that's interesting. That'll be interesting to see. There is festival favorites. It's a new food like window in the plaza, which is pretty cool. They're currently selling arepas, which are delicious. They're selling a tres leches cake. So all of the food that's being sold there right now is very like themed to Encanto. The show is supposed to run to the end of summer. So I have a feeling that once Food and Wine starts, we may see a flip of this entire space. I'm fascinated to see this food window because it's called Festival Favorites. I'm fascinated to see what they do with like what the menu looks like when an actual festival is happening. Are you going to get like a couple of items from some of the booths like around the area, or is this going to be similar to what the Odyssey building has been like for the festivals recently?
Mm.
You've been able to go through the Odyssey building during festivals, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Where it's all like themed, right?
Yeah,
Specific for the festival.
yeah,
I've been, they had all the Epcot stuff was the last time I was in there in that one room, I
yeah, I
believe.
think you were here in January, so you got to see Festival of the Arts, and so it was very
Hmm.
like Figment heavy.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I'm interested to see if they sort of utilize that space, and then what that means for the Odyssey building. I'm not sure. I don't know what they'll turn that into. We won't
But
know
the
until
CommuniCore, this is old Innovations West. Is that, am I orienting
yeah.
myself correctly?
Yeah, so it's
Plaza
like
is in the middle, and this is that building opposite of uh, um what's the restaurant gift shop?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
opposite of Creations gift shop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then connected to the CommuniCore, or sort of a part of the CommuniCore Hall, is the new Mickey and Friends meet and greet location, which is
Yeah.
basically the same thing as
C
character,
spot.
yeah, character spot. Um, it's funny. So another piece of information: Hunter did his college program he did a college program at Disney, and so he'll say certain things sometimes that
Is C
like
spot not a normal thing?
I mean, maybe, but to me, the first few times you said it, I was like, what does that mean? Like, what are you even talking about? I mean, and then I put two and two together. Oh, character spot, C spot.
Character
Got it.
spot. Yeah. You can
Use
you can take Goofy apples or bananas.
there.
It's your choice.
Is that a certain Disney thing?
Some people get it.
Yeah, see, there's certain things that just us non-ever cast members don't understand. So, but anyways, the Mickey and Friends location is fantastic. There's a lot of like little Easter eggs in the hallways as you're walking in that they painted to like nods to old Epcot, which are pretty cool. And I think that the area looks fantastic. It's nice to
Is
have
it
Mickey and
Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald?
yeah, Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy, and then what I've heard that
A rotation.
I've heard Daisy's been there as well. So I
Okay.
would imagine that it's like sort of the Fab Five, although I know Daisy technically is not part of the Fab Five, but I imagine that they kind of like rotate in there some.
I
Um,
gotcha.
but the space looks fantastic. I think it's great. CommuniCore Hall is a part of this space as well. And CommuniCore Hall, when we first saw like the concept art of CommuniCore Hall, there was so many details to it. Like we were seeing like a Figment statue, we were seeing like all kinds of art all over the walls. That is not what it looks like currently.
Uh-oh.
It's a very like it's a very bare space.
Modern? Is it Disney modern?
Yeah, it's modern, but it's just very empty. And so I, uh, here's the thing. Any large space indoors during the summertime at a theme park is a win because you get an opportunity to take a break from the heat. You can go sit inside. You can let the kiddos kind of get some energy out that's not like outdoors where you're afraid that they're overheating or you
Mhm.
yourself are overheating. But and also, it's an opportunity to take your food and go eat indoors somewhere, which is nice. I just, I hope that, again, going back to it not being festival season, I hope that when we do get a festival that rolls around, that they'll like spruce up the place a little bit, that they'll add some festival art inside of it, some festival theming, because right now I don't want to say this and it sound bad, but it looks sort of like a cafeteria. Like it doesn't.
Man, you're just so negative
No,
right now.
I'm not negative because I have
I thought
hope.
that's why you had me here. No, I'm kidding.
No, I have hope for the space, and I don't think it's bad. I think it's a good space for sure. A lot of people have had things to say about why did this take so long. I think there's always more to that story than what we realize. Like we just see a space and we're like, why did it take you so long to build this? But we have no clue what took place behind the scenes. So,
Mhm.
um, I don't know. I'm excited about the area. I'm excited that the walls are down finally at Epcot. Walking into the park, it just feels different. There's a different energy about walking into Epcot. You don't feel like, oh, we've got to walk this way and now we've got to walk around these barriers and we can't get through this way because we'd have to go, it's nice to be
Yeah.
able to just walk wherever you want to walk to. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of a divergence from the World's Fair. Obviously, we're seeing new Epcot come in. I was a huge fan. I grew up around Innoventions and
Right.
having all these experiences and like technology displays sponsored by this company or that company and all that. So it was very World's Fairy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll see where it
To
goes.
me,
They're
it's interesting because
switching it
I've
up.
I've been watching. There's a documentary happening right now on History Channel called "How Disney Built America," and so they just went through the most recent episode that I watched. They went through Walt's intentions for Epcot, and we all know, or most of us know, that Epcot was originally supposed to be a city,
Yep.
and so
In a bubble.
yeah, and so what I feel like I'm appreciating about this new space and like all of the gardens area as well, I feel like it feels like sort of a city center in terms of like you've got a park and you've got a stage where bands can come and perform, and it just feels like an area where people can come hang out more, um, including CommuniCore Hall. And so I don't know, I feel like that it's sort of going back to Walt's intentions for Epcot. Obviously, Epcot itself is not going to become
Hmm.
a city.
A lot of people would disagree with you.
Maybe, but I mean, we don't ultimately really know what Walt would have done with that space because he never got to do it, you know? And so to me, it feels like a little bit of a city center,
Yeah.
and I kind of like it. I'm kind of
He
into
had
it.
his video that I like to watch every now and then where it shows like the little Wedway people movers going out to the neighborhoods and then
Yeah,
coming back into the city and the underground parking and all that. And then
yeah,
he'd go take the monorails to the theme park area where it was just going to be Magic Kingdom with like three different theme parks right there.
yeah.
It's crazy how, yeah, the Florida project versus where it is now, which obviously logistically would have probably never happened. Building on a swamp has its own difficulties, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, here we are.
yeah. No, I do. I think I overall I like it. It's a win for me. Like I said, the show itself is fantastic. The food, the arepas that they're serving, they're so good. I did try one of the ciders that they have right now. It's a mojito cider, super tasty.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall, I'm a big fan of the area, and I'm excited to see like what they continue to do with it, like where they go with it when festival season starts. Couple other things that started that day, and we won't spend a lot of time on it, but Joy is now meeting at Hollywood Studios. Joy from Inside Out. Pretty exciting. She's meeting. I always forget the name of this space, but it's where Edna Mode meets. It's where like you turn the corner like you're going to Toy Story Land, and it's a
Oh,
it's a Pixar.
Pixar Place
I think
or
so. I don't know why, but this is
the old queue for Toy Story Mania, pretty
yeah,
much.
there's a lot of like there's a lot of areas in Disney parks that I have to remember names of, and this place in particular, for some reason, always like leaves my mind. But
Mhm.
she's meeting over there, she's outside, and it's cool. They got a cool little backdrop. The backdrop had already existed, and where she's standing, it just kind of makes sense for her to stand there.
No.
But I was excited to see her there. All kinds of new Pixar treats also are at Hollywood Studios as well. I covered all of this content at Undercover Tourist, the theme park frog on Instagram. So if you guys are interested in seeing some of the food, you can go check it out there. I hopped over that day as well to Animal Kingdom, where the 30th anniversary celebrations of The Lion King have kicked off. The fact that The Lion King is 30 years old is wow. I'm getting old. I had a Lion King birthday party, and so Tim would have other things to say about that, but it's nice.
The year it came out, you had a Lion King birthday party?
Well, it would have been around that time because I would have been 3 when the movie came out, but I want to say maybe a couple years after. Would have been like my fifth or sixth birthday, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
But I was very much into the like hype of the Lion King. I had Lion King sheets, I had Lion King backpacks. I mean, I had t-shirts, plush, all of it. I was like a Lion King kid. The Lion King and Aladdin were my favorite movies, Disney movies growing up. So, um, it's cool that it's celebrating 30 years. Some of the merchandise is really awesome, and I want some of it, but I have to restrain myself.
You need to
And
get yourself the dad shirt, Hakuna Matata.
the standard
The
Disney dad
with
shirt.
all the rules of let's count. There's 18, 19,
Yeah,
37.
I feel like listeners will know what that is referencing, but there's a
I
specific
mean,
Hakuna
I
Matata
gotta get
shirt.
one now.
Yeah, you should have had it
The
on
red,
your trip in
yeah,
January. You're missing
the
out.
red Hakuna Matata
I'll
sunset t-shirt.
I'll have one ready for you the next time
Don't,
you guys come
please
down.
don't.
I buy Hunter a lot of
I
things.
will furnish my own Hakuna Matata
You do have
t-shirt.
a t-shirt on the way to you from me. It's
Well,
coming
thank you.
soon. Yeah, I'm very excited for you to
Nick is a
receive it.
serial gift giver, if
I
anybody's
am.
wondering.
It's how I show people that I love them. I always want
And
to buy
I am
Tim
also the
things too.
opposite.
Oh yeah, well aware. I'm still waiting on a birthday present from Hunter, and my birthday was
Oh my
over a month ago.
gosh.
Threw you under the bus.
I like to, you know, keep the suspense.
But yeah, well, there's been a lot of suspense going on for the
I just have to
last.
give it to you in person. I want to see your reaction.
That's not it. You had your chance. We were together.
Of
Hunter
course.
also, we went on a birthday. This is just a little fun difference between Nick and Hunter. These happen quite often. We went on a birthday trip together. The whole time I'm hyping it up that it's a birthday trip. Hunter and I's birthdays are 10 days apart. We get to
Mm.
Disneyland. We record an episode for Happiest Podcast on Earth together the day that we
Hey,
arrive.
hey,
And
hey.
Hunter's birthday had already passed. It's April 30th. And we
Uh-huh.
go into the episode and we're like, I'm like, well, my birthday's coming up. So, and then I had a moment where I looked at Hunter and
And
I
then I
go,
said, "Oh yeah,
when,
when?"
when's my birthday? And he forgot. He did not remember my birthday. Tragic.
I couldn't tell you.
What's my
More than
birthday? Do
three
you remember it?
people on this Earth's birthdays. May 9th.
Wow, see, it's etched into your
Oh
brain
my
now.
gosh. Good. I'm
Anyways,
glad I got it.
it was funny. I was like, are you kidding me right now?
You're now the fourth person on this earth that I know their birthday by
I'll
heart.
take it. That's a win.
That's
I consider that to be a victory.
why we have calendars with reminders
No,
set
no,
to
no.
one day before.
No,
So you
you
always know.
remember, you got to remember the important details.
Shout out to
Anyways,
iMessage. You can now schedule birthday texts. So I'm going to be doing that for next year tonight.
that's so depressing. You better not do that.
Thank you, Apple.
Ugh,
Hashtag not
that
sponsored.
is that makes me angry. That's like so impersonal. I mean, I know people will be like, "What?" It gets me like organized and prepped,
Yeah.
but no.
Set it for 12:01 a.m. And then
And
you'll
like
reply and be like, "Oh, thanks." And then I'll reply 8 hours later and be like, well, "What? I was sleeping." And what?
I don't even I think that like birthday texts are nice for like the people in your life that like you feel like you should send a birthday text to. But then I feel like there's a different level of people in your life. I
Mm.
if you just text me on my birthday and you were just like, "Hey, happy birthday." I'd be like, "Okay, so when are you going to call me?"
And I'd say, "Thanks for the text. Thank goodness it wasn't a phone call."
Yeah, Hunter and Tim are similar in that they'd rather text than they would talk on the phone.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's just so much more efficient.
Not it shouldn't be about efficiency on somebody's birthday.
Ah, if it's
No.
my birthday, it's my efficiency.
Ugh, so sad.
I'll
That's
be sending you a birthday text
tragic.
and nothing else on your next birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see about that.
Happy birthday, period.
You have a big birthday coming up next year.
Oh, yeah.
30, the big 30.
Yep. All downhill from here.
No, that's not true. The 30s are a great time. I love it.
Halfway to 60. That's halfway to 120, and I don't think I'll make it to that.
Okay, stop. I'm thriving. I'm thriving in my 30s. I say that, but like, man, anxiety be tripping and all the
Be
things.
tripping.
I am getting better with my anxiety though. Still have not had coffee since our Disneyland trip. I've had coffee,
Wow.
just decaf coffee. Never had,
Oh,
I haven't had caffeine yet. I mean, probably like
trace
slight,
amounts of caffeine.
yeah, nothing like a actual cup of coffee or latte.
Hmm.
Anyways, and that has been difficult at times, let me tell
We
you.
should test your theory out and see if it's been working. Just tomorrow, just
No,
have 2 5-hour energies and pre
no,
and just
definitely
see
not.
what happens and be
No, no,
like,
no.
okay, you're right. It is the caffeine.
No.
I am gonna cut that out.
I do think I'll slowly start to introduce caffeine back into my life, but in like trace amounts. I'll probably do like green tea, some like iced green tea. I love iced green tea. I get it at Starbucks and I mix it with apple juice.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a weird combo. But
My
also,
drink of choice from Starbucks is ice water. I just don't like coffee.
there's so many other things that you could get though.
Uh, no. I've tried their smoothies for a while and they're just
Have you
so-so.
been to like, oh yeah, no. There's nothing
And
special
one
about
time
those.
I ordered a smoothie and they gave me like an iced drink that was a strawberry and it wasn't a smoothie and I did not like it.
Interesting. I
It's
wonder if
kind of like the pink drink,
you
maybe.
got
I
like a
don't know.
refresher or something like that.
Yeah, it is not.
Um, you're a pretty picky guy though, so
Yep.
have you there's never been a coffee that you've liked?
No.
Oh
I've
wow.
always loved that coffee is one of my favorite smells. I
Yeah.
love the smell of coffee, but
Yeah.
just I don't like hot drinks for some reason.
Well,
I don't
there's
know if that's
so
coming
many
from being an athlete and just whenever I drink like water, I'm drinking a half gallon of it to get hydrated, and you can't do that with a hot drink.
true. But you could drink
Yeah,
iced coffees.
that just
Oh, they're
doesn't sound good.
delicious. Cold brews, don't even get me started.
I'd rather have a nice if we're going iced, I'd rather have a nice bubbly Coca-Cola.
See, I don't drink soda, so it's a little
I
different.
love soda.
Um, Also, that just reminded me, Inside Out 2. Everything comes back to Inside Out 2 for me right now. But that's another reason why you need to go see this movie. I really want you to go see it. I wish that we lived closer. I wish that all the
I
time.
told you, once it's out on Disney
No,
Plus,
no, 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 no,
I'll
no.
give it a
You've got to go see
watch.
it in theaters. You've got to go see
I
it in
still
theaters.
don't have time to go to the theaters. Well, maybe I do. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you do.
I'm going
So
on vacation in a week. Yeah, I've got too much. Schedule's full. Schedule's
maybe when
full.
you're on vacation, you can like get away to watch it for a night.
You go watch movies when you're on vacation?
I mean, sure.
Hmm.
I haven't done like a full family vacation in quite some time, but the idea that we could like we are not blessed like Hunter and his wife are. Hunter and Maddie live close to their families, and so you guys have the
Hmm.
ability to go on date nights. I wouldn't say regularly,
Yeah, but we don't cash that in as often as
but
we
you
probably should.
have that opportunity, and not just date nights, but just in general. Like if something pops
Help,
up, yeah, truly,
help us.
if something pops up, you guys have the ability to be like, hey, we're gonna drop off the kiddo at the grandparents' house
Hmm.
for a few hours because you have errands to run and Maddie has errands to run, or you have, things going on.
Yeah,
We don't have that. We have
yeah.
none of that. We have friends, close friends that we can, cash that in on from time to time. But it's different when it's close friends that have kids of their own because they have their own responsibilities happening. Grandparents come in clutch for those reasons.
I don't
What?
know why, but the thought just came into my head of like Luke as Mace Windu and you as Palpatine, and you're just there and you're like, help me, I can't any longer. I don't know why that just popped in my head.
No, that is not the case for
You're
sure.
just like, help, I can't
No, but
hold
it,
it.
it it would be nice to have that around because you can just like you can plan a date night with your spouse or
Yeah.
or whatever. But
It's nice. It's nice having that option. And yes, we were
yeah,
blessed to be able to have both sets of grandparents relatively close.
I
Maddie's
was
parents
talking.
just retired and moved out to a farm out in West Texas, so
Yeah,
they're a little bit further. But we like to take Bash out to the farm
yeah,
just to drive a tractor and hang out with cows.
yeah.
Normal. It's just
Normal,
what we do in Texas all the
normal
time. You know what I
Texas
mean? We get
things.
on our horse, go to school, and go take care of the cows, make sure they got
Oh
feed. All
Lord,
good. And if we
Texas
really
thing.
feel crazy, we go lamb chops or cow tipping or something. You know.
Okay, stop. But never.
And then at the end of the day, we like to cool off in the cistern, you know, just hop in there with the cows as they're getting their nightly drink.
I didn't even know what cistern was until you said that for a second.
It's what you use a windmill for. You use a windmill, it turns, it pumps up water from the spring into the cistern that distributes water to your
Hmm.
basically your cattle
Wow.
pens. Yeah, they're
What
auto filling.
would have never
It's
known.
like yeah, you never take a hose to a cow pen and fill up the water. You have the windmill pumping water
Do
into it.
they have a windmill at the ranch?
They sure do.
Wow.
It's by the cistern.
Would have never known. See,
Yep.
you learn something new every day. This Florida boy, we don't. Do you know how to do the stingray shuffle? Yeah, there
But
you go. See?
I like to stay out of the water.
Yeah, you're not a beach guy, which is tragic, but
I hate sand. Rough and coarse and gets everywhere.
if you haven't already been able to tell, Hunter is a bit of a Star Wars geek, so
A bit. A
definitely.
little bit.
But I don't remember where we
What
were
were we
going with
talking about?
that.
Oh,
This
having
is
the
how,
parents.
this is how we do it on that tracks. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
whenever.
It's nice to
Yeah.
be able to have family close. We have not had that, and so you know, we did when Luke was really little, and that came in clutch. But when we moved back to Central Florida, we moved down here. My brother lived here for a period of time, but then they moved away, and we're all alone. So, but we make it
Wow,
work. We have
wow.
a good time together as a fam for sure. I am very much though looking forward to Francie and I's getaway happening ever so soon on a Disney cruise. So
Very nice.
can't wait for that. All right, other Disney news. So that all happened in the course of one day last week. But yeah, there's a lot of fun things happening. Like I said, a lot of cool treats, both the Hollywood studios and cool treats at Animal Kingdom for the Lion King. So go check it all out. Um, Other breaking news that happened for Disney parks this week was that Country Bear Jamboree will officially be reopening on July 17th. I am
That was
very,
fast.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that the most that they had to do was really like
New
sort
audio
of,
tracks, pretty much, and just reprogram the
yeah,
mouths.
they redid costumes for a lot of the bears. They look very good. Those have been teased on Disney Parks blog, and they also have been included in the Disney Imagineering show that they've been posting on YouTube. Have you watched any of those episodes yet?
I've watched a few. Not, I watched what was on Disney Plus. Is
No,
it a
this is
YouTube
on YouTube.
exclusive? I did
Yeah,
not watch that.
I need to send you the link to it because it's pretty solid. It's very interesting. They covered a lot of Tiana's Bayou Adventure stuff before it opened. And I still want to talk about Tiana's Bayou Adventure on here. I am going to save that to talk about it with Tim because at this point, Tim has done it multiple times and he'll have a lot to share.
I've done it zero
Zero.
times, so
Yeah.
I will offer little to no
No, no hope
feedback.
for sure. but I was able to ride it the one time, and it's been near mission impossible to try to ride it a second time. But hopefully, by the time that Tim and I get back together again, I'll have been able to ride it at least with the family. So, um, anyways, Country Bear is coming back July 17th. I'm excited about this. It does seem, based on this Imagineering show, it does seem that a lot of the songs that they're going to be singing are IP songs, which I think people will have a lot of comments about. I have zero problem with that whatsoever. I think that IP songs are songs that people can sing along with. It makes sense. Disney owns them. Why would they not have them in their parks? I do think it would be nice to get like a couple of original songs mixed in there. I don't want it to be straight IP, but I am not somebody who like is upset about IP being at Country Bear. So I don't know if
They'll
you
either
have,
go straight on script or like Disney will make fun of itself a little bit and they'll like
right.
goof with the songs and the lyrics, which I think if they go that route and make it a unique, like you won't hear that version of the song anywhere else versus, oh, it's just them singing the song, then that might be where the
Yeah.
creativity
I
is
would
like a
have
little, yeah,
I'd imagine that with it being the Country Bears, that they'll have their own like spin on the songs for sure. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm excited. We'll be checking that out for sure and we'll report back. It's wild that July 17th is not that far away. Summer is flying by already. So
Mhm.
stay tuned. Other Disney news this week, Shootin Arcade at the Magic Kingdom is officially closing. The last day of operation will be June 23rd. I don't have strong feelings about this closing. Some people do. I I'm fine with Shootin' Arcade going away. It is sad because it's an opening day attraction, and we don't have many of those left at Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World, but I'm okay with it going away. I don't think that it's utilized. People never use it. I mean, I think it's just one of those things that's there that makes people feel comfortable that it's there because they're like, we know that it exists, but nobody ever uses it anymore. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, it's fine to go away. It's needed to change for a long time. The thing that I'm sort of bummed about is that it's getting replaced with a DVC lounge,
Yep.
and I'm not a DVC member, so I will never get to utilize that space. And I do think it's interesting to take away an opening day attraction and replace it with a DVC lounge. That is an
Yeah.
interesting move to me. Um, like I said, I'm fine with the attraction going away. I would be totally on board if they reimagined it to be some other interactive experience, but I don't know, like a DVC
I will
lounge.
I would only accept this if they make it into a DVC lounge, but they take the scene elements from the shooting arcade and like use those to populate the DVC lounge. Like that's history there. And if
I
you're just gonna
think
wipe it clean and do like a what is it front is it
it's Frontierland. I
Frontierland? So
think
I
it
mean,
will be I would imagine that the DVC lounge will be themed to Frontierland.
or if they go full SEA on it, Society of or SAE
Yeah,
Explorers. No, SEA, Society
yeah,
of Explorers and Adventurers. They might go that route. But yeah,
yeah.
I have a bone to pick with the DVC lounges because so our family was DVC members.
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm older. I've flown the nest. I'm not, under the umbrella of my parents anymore, but having a direct relative, I think like my parents are the primary members, but we could have I can't even get into a lounge. Like even when I was like, when I
Yeah,
did my college program and I lived with my parents and I was their dependent and I was all of that, I would be at the parks and I'd be like, oh, we're DVC lounge, we're DVC members. Like, are you the primary? You have to be the primary member to
yeah,
be able to access it. And I feel like when you have a whole DVC membership, like at least your direct family should be able to
yeah.
access
But where do
the
they
perks of that
stop that?
membership.
Well, my great grandfather was a DVC member, but
Direct parents, children,
yeah,
parents, children, sibling, not siblings because they might have a lot of siblings, but
yeah,
I feel like definitely when I was a dependent of them, I
yeah.
should have been able to like access the DVC lounge because it's like
Yeah.
our family are DVC members.
I'm
Unless they
sure.
want me as a kid to be like, I have my own DVC membership. Ah,
No, I'd imagine that they have to like draw the line somewhere. And although you would have been a responsible kid in the DVC lounge, I'm sure that they don't want just like any kid to be able to like go into the DVC lounge.
well, I
Um,
mean, a kid that's an adult, yeah. But then if you're an adult, you're no longer dependent. Yeah, it's one of those silly circles,
yeah.
as
I don't
Borg likes to say.
I don't know. I just I don't I don't know. I don't plan on buying DVC anytime soon. I don't have that in my budget by any means, and so I'm never going to be able to utilize the space. I say that though, when did I ever do the Shootin Arcade? Hardly ever. And so it's like,
Yeah.
it's not
But
like
to
I'm
be
gonna
honest, yeah, to be honest, the DVC lounge is just free sodas and you can plug your phone in. Like,
yeah, yeah. And kudos to the DVC members. I know that there will be a lot of DVC members that are particularly excited about having this space in Magic Kingdom, and I'm excited for them. Like, good for them. It's just, I won't be able to really utilize it. So we'll see. We'll see what that ends up looking like. I'm excited to see if they do theme it to be Frontierland, what that space ends up looking like. So,
yeah.
um, and then last but not least, today, Father's Day was the last day that Test Track in its current form was in operation. So it is officially closed. Hunter is very excited
Everybody,
about this.
leap from the rooftops. Hooray! God.
So it
Ding
is
dong, what
it
is
is
that?
done.
What did Oh my
I don't
gosh.
feel that passionate about it.
I don't like it.
I enjoy it because I have memories with Luke on this attraction,
Yeah,
and so
okay.
Luke loves it, and Luke doesn't care. Luke thinks it's really cool. Um, he had never experienced what Test Track was before. I actually think if he had, he would still like the new version a little bit better. I think that like the new version is more kid centric as opposed to the old version. Like the old version, kids
I don't
didn't.
know. I was a kid and I loved the old version.
Yeah, you were a different kind of
What do you mean?
kid.
The old version was amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
The
It'll be
best.
interesting to see what they do with it. We really don't have a lot of information. We don't have a lot of idea in terms of concept. We have one concept image, and it doesn't give us a lot of info on
Does it look blue or
what they're
there's
going
some
to
other
do.
colors?
There's a lot of trees in the image.
Well, here we go. We're back.
I do th They want to sort of like go. I don't think they're going to go completely back, but I think they're going to try to like combine the two in some ways.
This is an opportunity for them to be like, all right, that may have been a bad idea. We're gonna redo that.
It'll be
So
interesting. I'm excited to see what
we'll
that
see.
space becomes with, but I am going to miss Test Track for a little while. I'm going to miss that like sound of the cars going by obnoxiously as you're walking past after trying to go get some food at one of the food booths. It's going to be weird. We don't know how long it's going to last for either, how long it'll take, but I imagine it'll be a little while before Test Track opens again. So,
Yeah. Test Track is one of like the goat rides of like getting you that anticipation. Like Splash Mountain is one of them where
yeah.
you're seeing the drop. You're like, okay, that's what I'm going for. And Test Track, it always scared me because it was so loud as you get in line. Yow, yow.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right. It
It's
shows you
fast.
that's part of the magic of a Disney attraction is showing you what you're about. Like this is the peak. This is what you're going to experience. But
Right.
now let's build it up for 30 minutes. And
Yeah.
now you get to think about that.
Yeah.
And then it just makes the whole experience better.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And that one is not even really showing you. It's
No,
letting you
you
hear it.
hear the
Yeah.
screams. Like Tower of Terror, you hear the screams coming from the
Exactly.
top of the hotel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So Luke is bummed. He's gonna miss it. Ethan actually loves Test Track as well, so he's a little bummed. But we did get one last family ride last week, and we said our goodbyes, and it was perfect timing because as we came out around the corner, the fireworks were happening in Epcot, and that's always my favorite whenever you get to ride an attraction and fireworks are taking place. So
Oh yeah. I'd wager the Create a Car sticks around. I think that's the only
yeah, it adds like a level
or
of.
most popular thing from the change. Yeah.
It was a bummer though because we did it and our car like we built our cars and then they didn't scan over. And so we always like to
Mm,
see like whose car wins and we didn't get that opportunity with this one. So
interesting.
bummer, but what are you gonna do? So we said
Petition
our
for them to destroy it and build a new one, and apparently it worked.
we said our goodbyes and we'll be excited to see what that turns into. All right, shifting gears here, and this is going to be an area that you probably are not as familiar with. I know that you've been to Universal a few times before, but not frequently. Like you didn't grow up going to Universal as much as you did to Disney, obviously.
No, Universal was that dark, shadowy place.
That is
In my
it
childhood,
is it is
literally,
most it is most
especially
definitely
around
not.
October, my parents were like, "We are not going to Universal."
Well, I mean, I understand that Halloween Horror Nights terrifies me, but I do think that we'll see how it goes this year. But I got to go. This was one of the highlights of my week. So I got invited through the theme park dad out for a media event on Thursday evening at Universal, and they were showcasing all of their new experiences that they're rolling out this summer. And most of these have already actually debuted. They debuted on Friday. So DreamWorks Land is officially open, and that's where our event started. I won't really go into DreamWorks Land much because we've talked about it so many times on here before, but it's fantastic. It's a blast. I finally got to see the show that they have at DreamWorks Land, and I thought it was so creative. It's about adults finding their imagination again, and they do so by means of the characters from some of the DreamWorks movies. I thought it was hilarious. Watching Shrek dance was a 10 out of 10 experience. And it's just a lot of fun. The whole area can make you feel like a kid again. And I have not even had the opportunity to take my kids to that land yet. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited that it's officially open. Other parts of the event were that we got to go check out the new nighttime spectacular that has debuted at Universal Studios Florida, and it is called CineSational, a symphonic spectacular. CineSational is such a
Say
weird
that
word.
5 times fast.
Yeah, it's such a like strange word to say for sure, but it's really cool because okay, here's the thing. When it comes to Universal and it comes to their IP, sometimes, and I'm just being honest here, sometimes I question whether the IP is strong enough to evict the same type of emotion that a place like Disney can. Like, I think that most people grow up on Disney movies, but it surprises you watching the show because you're like, well, of course it can. Like, there are so many iconic classics in this show that when you hear the music play, it really does. Like, it evicts a certain type of emotion. I
Whenever
know that.
whenever Smash Mouth comes on in the finale and they're like, it all started with an ogre.
Not necessarily with Shrek and Donkey, although they definitely make their appearance, which is special. It's like a little moment that they're celebrating friendship. But I really do. I think that like you've got E.T. That music really just like
Uh,
makes me feel a certain type of way. When I was a kid, our childhood memories of watching E.T. at my aunt's house, we had a Lion King like pop-up tent, and we would put that tent up in the living room, and we would have popcorn and M&Ms, and me and my cousins would all like pile into the tent and watch E.T. together. So that was fun. And then you've got Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, you've got Jaws, you've got The Mummy, you've got iconic like monsters movies. You've got Ghostbusters. There's so many components to this show that it makes movie fans feel. And that's just in terms of like the media that's represented in the show. As a theme park fan, the technology in this show is incredible. You've got fountains, almost like World of Color. I don't even want to say almost. They basically look,
that's what I texted you. It's basically like World of Color
yeah,
slash Disney Springs. Yeah.
yeah, they basically have World of Color like fountains in this lagoon, and the fountains did an excellent job of projecting the movie scenes that they were projecting. And then behind the fountains, you have buildings that they have projections on, and they have lighting. They've got mapping going on the different buildings that are changing with the show as well. You've got lasers coming from those buildings, and then you've got drones high above the buildings as well. And then I don't I watching it from where we watched it, I'd be fascinated to know like how far the drones are away from where these fireworks are being shot off from. But you also have pyro. Some of the pyro comes from the buildings, and then there's also fireworks that are shot further behind the drones. And so watching all of these layers of this show and all of these like technological advances in the show, it's mind blowing. Like it's so cool. You've got Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon flying up above you while you're seeing How to Train Your Dragon scenes taking place on the fountains, and then you've got fireworks shooting off behind Toothless. It's just like it's mind blowing. That's like the only way that I can really describe it. It's a very long show. It's 22 minutes long. And so I think there's going to be some people that are just like, man, I'm standing here for quite some time for sure. But I think you lose track of how long it is because there's so many good components to it for sure. Um, y-
Universal Creative was like, how are we going to compete with Disney? It's like, do we want to do a World of Color or more like the Castle fireworks show? And they're just like, let's just do it all. Just
yeah,
do everything
truly.
all in
They
one,
said put it all together and let's see where we go with it. And I think it's fantastic. Like
which they
it,
pioneered the drone stuff with, because isn't in LA at Universal, Hollywood, they have the drones over
Yeah,
Hogwarts and that kind of stuff. Is it also in Orlando where they
we
were doing drone stuff first, or
we don't have drones near our Hogwarts in Orlando, but they do have it at Universal Hollywood for sure, which looked
yeah.
fantastic. We got to watch that show together when we went out
Mhm.
there last summer. Um, Yeah, I really think it's such a phenomenal show. It was the highlight of the evening for sure for me. And kudos to Universal Creative because they just really knocked it out of the park with this one. It's fantastic. I highly recommend everybody go watch it. Right now, I think it's just showing one time a night, and I think it's been taking place at 9 p.m. every evening. I mean, I say that it's only been happening for a couple of nights. It debuted on Friday, but it really is. It's such a great show, and I can't wait for Tim to go see it because I know Tim's going to love it. I think he's going to think it's brilliant. I wish you could come to Florida and come watch these things with me, but
Maybe
you
in the
don't
next 6 to 8 months.
you don't have time for that. So
Universal Kids, whenever that opens in Frisco, Texas, I'll be your boots on the ground source.
I do want my dream. Hunter loves this type of stuff. If Hunter could work at a theme park, it would definitely be on like the Imagineering or creative side of it. And I ran into somebody this weekend who he said he listens to the podcast and he told me that he was actually out there interviewing for a job with Universal Creative. So, you know, whoever, if you were listening to this, I hope that the interview went well and you got the job. But he told me that they were hiring like hundreds of employees with Universal Creative for Epic Universe. And I was like, man, I wish Hunter would come work out here.
That's very far away.
Whatever. Anyways,
I
so
ain't
that was
leaving Texas. I'm staying.
yeah, we'll see. I'll will you over here at one point or another, even if
All
Maddie
right.
hates me forever for it. But it was good. It was a really great show, and I'm very excited about it. I think everybody should go check it out. So highlights for sure. And it was cool. There was a moment where Super Mario Brothers showed up in the show as well, and it reminded me that, oh my gosh, like we are going to have Super Nintendo World here so soon, and that'll transition into my next piece of Universal news. The preview center for Epic Universe just opened, and they really knocked it out of the park with this preview center as well. Like in other preview centers, you get sort of like 3D um a three-dimensional map of the park. So you've got all the structures and so on and so forth. And they have that in the preview center of the park. But there's an app that you can download, and as you walk around, there's like AR experiences with this 3D model of the park that show you like where a restaurant's going to be located, where an attraction's going to be located, and it gives you information on that. And then it's interactive. So you've got Super Nintendo characters walking around the land. You've got dragons flying over Isle of Berk. You've got Fantastic Beast flying over the Ministry of Magic from Harry Potter, which
Dang.
yeah, it's phenomenal. They've got merchandise in there, which I love merchandise and definitely bought some things while I was in there. But kudos again to Universal Creative because the preview center looks fantastic and it's getting me so excited for Epic Universe. Like I cannot believe we're going to have a brand new theme park in Orlando next year. That is wild to me. At the Hilton Orlando, you could see when you walked out of the elevator, we were on the 12th floor. You could look out the window and you could see Epic Universe from the Hilton Orlando. And it was just so cool to see
Dang.
the progress that they've made. And I am so excited. So
Room rates are about to spike at the Hilton Orlando,
yeah, yeah, I
especially if
really
there's a
think so.
nighttime show, which there will be at Epic
Yeah.
Universe. There
And
has to be.
it's so close. Like it is very close to this hotel. So Team Hilton Orlando for sure. But yeah, so I can't wait. Another thing that happened that night is that they took us over to Hogsmeade at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Islands of Adventure, and we got to go watch Hogwarts Always, which is the brand new Hogwarts show on Hogwarts Castle. It's a projection show. It has some pyro in it as well. It's a lot of fun. It takes you kind of like through your first year experience at Hogwarts. It takes you shopping in Diagon Alley. It's fun. And then the Sorting Hat shows up and it kind of goes through the different houses. It tells you to have like your house pride. And then at the end of the show, they have a House Cup winner that they announce. And the House Cup winner changes with every show. So, Hunter, I know your knowledge of Harry Potter is not very
Did,
extensive,
but
but
did I ever tell you that I an animatronic sorting hat.
You what?
I have constructed an animatronic sorting hat
Wow,
in
that's pretty cool.
college. Yeah, I was
Oh,
in one
that's
of
awesome.
my physics class. I was a physics major, and in one of our classes, it wasn't physics. It was couldn't tell you the class, but it was, I think it had something to do with electrical.
Yeah,
But yeah, we wired a bunch of motors, put all the skin on it, and you could hold two joysticks, and he would raise his eyebrows, open his mouth, shake his head back and forth.
very cool.
I have to find my old phone. I'll
We've
send you a
talked,
video.
you and I have talked before about which Hogwarts house you would be in. I'm a
Yeah,
Hufflepuff, Hufflepuff
Hufflepuff
for
for
life.
me, for sure.
You're
Yeah,
not,
that's what the game told me I was. And I
I
think the
just,
game is more accurate than this email thing you told me to join that now, by the way, sends me an email 3 times a day saying, "Are you ready to join the Potter Club?"
I
I'm
made
like,
him go to the like official The Wizarding World website to get
I don't
his
think that one was
Hogwarts house.
accurate.
What did that one say? Was it Gryffindor?
Um, I don't even remember.
I
I
think
didn't
it.
even take note of it because I knew it was fake.
You're
And I
not a.
said, because
I'm gonna tell you right now.
that one only asked me like 3 questions. When you play the game, um, it really
Listen,
gets it out of you.
you don't
And
question
I was
the
a Hufflepuff.
the
Yeah.
official Wizarding World website. You let it
It
tell
comes
the
from my
Sorting Hat.
loyalty.
The
I am loyal to the end with my
I
Hufflepuffs.
don't want to throw you under the bus here, but one of the major components of a Hufflepuff is
Hey,
kindness.
I got kindness.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm giving you a hard time. But I really don't think you're a Hufflepuff. I think you're more of
I
a I want to
am.
say you're more of a Gryffindor, but you're also not a Gryffindor because you're
Exactly, because I'm a Hufflepuff.
no, you're not. I
I'm not a
would
Slytherin because I'm nice.
no,
I'm not a Ravenclaw because
I would say you're more of a Ravenclaw.
no, I'm not.
Yeah, like more wisdom and
Nah.
information. Yeah, I think you're more of a Ravenclaw.
Hufflepuffs are smart. They're scholars, aren't they?
I mean,
Or
we're all
are they just the
smart.
goofballs?
No, no. We Hufflepuffs are more just
Hufflepuff
like
and Ravenclaw are kind of like on one side, and then you've got the Slytherin and the
well,
Gryffindor.
that's because they're Slytherin and Gryffindor. I'm gonna probably tick off a lot of people that listen to this that are Slytherin or Gryffindor, but they're just like
Oh,
they're the loud ones arguing back and forth, and Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw are just kind of like, all right, do your thing, go off, Gryffindor and Slytherin. So, anyways,
well, I
uh,
am a Hufflepuff.
this is all yeah, whatever. This is all very relevant conversation because at the end of the show, the House Cup winner is declared, and you never know who's it going to be. When we watched it, we got to watch it twice. The first winner was Ravenclaw, the second winner was Slytherin. And while that was sad for us Hufflepuffs in the audience, we said, take your victory. And they were handing out free butterbeer. We were like, we're going to go get butterbeer and we're calling it a night. And so,
So was this like a mini medieval times? Is that like kind of what it was?
what are you
Where you wear
talking
like
about?
the gold, the yellow crown, the purple crown, and you're
This
rooting
is
for
where
the
this
knights?
is where your lack of Harry Potter knowledge comes
But
into
could you
play.
imagine if they did a medieval times style show in like a Harry Potter land? That'd be great.
I don't really know how that relates to
They'd
the House
wizard fight.
Cup. Wizard fight. They duel.
Yeah, as long as nobody. I'm on a crab.
Oh, can't say unspeakable curses on this
Oh,
podcast.
is that?
I'm just kidding. Um,
I quit playing the game because I couldn't unlock it fast enough. That's the only
uh,
one I wanted to use,
wow.
but never got it.
It's very not very Hufflepuff of you, but okay.
Oh, I'm not your normal Hufflepuff.
The House Cup in the movies is and the books is every year there's a House Cup winner, and so your house competes, especially in it's really throughout the year they have different opportunities to win points for your house,
I
and
feel
at
like
the
this is
end
a major plot point in the movies.
it's not, but it is
No?
like it's exciting because Gryffindor's always trying to win because Harry's in Gryffindor, and so him and his friends want to win the House Cup at the end of the year. Slytherin always is trying to win because Slytherin just
And
they
they
like
cheat.
um
Bend
maybe
the rules.
maybe sometimes Slytherin just likes to win. They're cunning. They like to be the best. So
Hmm.
yeah. But anyways, so that's exciting. I think it's fun. I think that it's cool that this show changes with every show. Um, Last but not least, the or a couple of things with Universal, and then we'll get into our questions. We got to
I
keep it
really
moving.
exacerbated all of my Harry Potter knowledge just then. So
I do
we
want
need
to
to move
watch.
on. I
I
have
want to
zero
watch the movies
left
with you one weekend. That should be a trip that we take together.
to watch the movies.
Yeah, yeah. Just a Harry Potter weekend. You could
We can do
fly
that.
down.
I don't need to fly down for that.
No, we have to watch them together.
Uh, yeah, we can do the share screen thing.
No, 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 no.
Watch them on Zoom.
No, it's there's something special about that. If you fly down, we have a full Harry Potter movie marathon. I won't make you watch all of them in one day because that's too much. We split it up, 2 days of Harry Potter movies, and then the third day we go to the Wizarding World together.
Hmm. You think I'd think of the Wizarding World differently?
Yeah, 1000%.
Context clues for everybody. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie from start
Yeah,
to finish, besides
they're
the Fantastic Beasts.
they're
Those
gonna they're gonna come
the
at you for
Fantastic
that.
Beasts I watch. I mean, I've never gotten into it.
It's fine, it's fine, but you
Team Star
will.
Wars.
I mean, I love both. I love Marvel, Star Wars, and Harry Potter. But I want you to come down and let's do that.
All right.
It's
Invitation accepted. I'll see you in 2027.
tragic.
I mean, how many hours? So I've done that with Star Wars back when there were only.
Yeah,
Ooh, did we watch Rogue One too? No, no, no. There were
I
only
watched
six, and
Rogue
I was
One over the
waiting.
weekend, and Rogue One is such a good Star Wars movie.
We
Anyways,
did that. I did that with my high school buddies with Star Wars episodes 1 through 6,
yeah,
and
same. I did that with my high school friends.
we started at 6 p.m. I want to say, went all night into the morning. It was a beating
You did it overnight? Why would you not start in the morning and end
because
at
we
night?
got out of school one Friday and they came over and we started. I
I
think.
did that with my high school friends, but we started in the morning.
Yeah, we did it all night. Yeah, it was like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. when we finished.
No, so Harry Potter, we would have to break it up into 2 days because it's 19 hours and 40 minutes.
You have to go I would go crazy
You would be sick of me.
if we had no stops.
You would be so tired of me.
No stops. I
Uh,
don't know. I feel like if I do it, I have to do it with no stops. Isn't that the rule?
no, you watch the first four and then watch the last four.
It's fine. Just let's wake up at midnight, be in bed by 9 p.m.
I'm serious. Like I would do this for sure, but it'll never happen. I have realistic expectations.
I don't
It's
know.
really
I don't
hard
know.
being far, like living long distance from your best friend is a really challenging thing. I know it's
Yeah.
way more challenging for me than it is for you, but it's the difference between Hunter and I. I have
I
feelings
mean,
and he doesn't.
I see you when I see you.
Whatever.
That's just who I be.
But yeah, so I think that would be fun. Let's plan that. Let's make it happen.
All right,
Maybe
as long as you immediately go into all nine Star Wars plus Solo and Rogue One,
it's
all
too
11
much.
Star Wars.
And then all of the Marvel movies.
Oh, we'll watch the Infinity Saga.
Oh no, that could never happen. We have way too many responsibilities for that to happen. But I am serious. I want to watch Harry Potter. I'm willing. I'm willing to potentially watch them with like shared screen,
I
but
mean, I won't get your hopes up, but if I've gone this long without watching Harry Potter, I might as well keep
no,
the streak
you have to
alive.
watch it. You have to watch it. It's so fun. Anyways,
But wouldn't it be cool for me to be like a 60-year-old man and then they're like, maybe, I don't know if YouTube still exists, but they're like, I can't believe this old man hasn't seen Harry Potter. Let's see his reaction.
I don't know. It's just such a generational thing for us though. Like, and obviously like different people have different reasons why they missed it for sure, but I think our generation just really connects with the stories. So, um
Well, some of us in our generation. The others like me are just lost.
I can help.
I enjoy Diagon Alley and
I
all
think
of
you would enjoy the movies. I do. We'll talk about it later.
I don't know.
Anyways,
We'll see.
couple other pieces from Universal. The Mega Movie Parade is debuting on July 3rd. That's going to happen at Universal Studios Florida. We were supposed to be able to see floats from this parade at this media event. We didn't get the opportunity to because the weather was kind of gross. No big deal. It's going to be here before we know it. July 3rd will be here before we know it, and I can't wait to see this. It's going to have 13 new floats in this parade. And Universal does parades so well. So I'm excited to see what they come up with this for this. Also, June 20th, so this week, Universal today teased that they will be sending out new medallions to the people that have been receiving these medallions. If you haven't been paying attention to social media with Epic Universe, there's a huge list of content creators and social media personalities that are getting these medallions that they're adding to this overall like arch. And every time they get a medallion, Universal will then turn around and tease information about one of the new lands coming. We're down to Dark Universe and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic. So this week we should get information specifically about either one of those lands.
You
I,
just blown my mind. They're doing like an IRL like mystery
Have
reveal
you not seen any
slash
of this?
scavenger hunt? No.
It's
What
brilliant.
is happening?
The
This is
marketing
amazing.
the marketing is incredible. The PR team is absolutely crushing it at Universal Orlando. But they've been sending out like a medallion for each land. And when the influencers get this medallion, they'll post about it, and then we'll know based on the symbol that's on that medallion. And those medallion symbols are what the everywhere like Epic Universe, the way that you walk into a new land, it looks like almost like a
Portal.
portal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
On top of the portal, there's a figure, and
Uh-huh.
whatever that figure is matches what's on these medallions that are going out.
Okay.
It's so good. It's brilliant. Universal is truly crushing it. And after being there for this event, I was like, oh man, Universal, you are on fire. You are doing what needs to be done, and not taking, you're not allowing any mercy. So,
If I and I'm not by any means on that list, but if I were to ever receive one, I'd be like, all right, let's throw a wrench in this. And I just don't post. They're just like, hey, did you get that? And we're like,
well,
yeah, yeah, I got it.
well,
Thank
there
you.
goes there goes your invite to the grand opening of Epic Universe.
What? Are you serious? All right.
No, I mean I love it. I think they're doing a fantastic job, and I'm very excited to see what land we get information about this week. Tim is, I'm sure, thrilled and cannot wait for information on Dark Universe. We all know how Nick feels about monsters. So Dark Universe is going to be a little bit of an intimidating place for me to walk through. It feels like it's going to be HHN 24/7.
At
So
least at least it's a
24/7.
land and you can avoid it and it's not like
Exactly. Yeah.
the problem, and I haven't had a problem with Universal, but like the reason like we'd never go to Universal is because that stuff was always like just mixed in and
Yeah.
like
Yeah. It's
there
hard.
were
It's
things that were like scary for a kid
yeah, yeah,
that
for
wasn't
sure.
like Disney filtered, right? Because Disney
For
you could
sure.
walk
They try
anywhere,
to
do
cover up.
anything,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't have to worry about it. But Universal, you might be like, oh, we're walking by this, and
Yeah.
oh, what's that?
They
What's
do a
that,
good job
mom?
of
And
like
you're just like,
covering
oh,
up things during HHN,
no.
but there are certain things that they just can't cover up, and it is in the parks. And so if someone is concerned about their kids seeing certain things, yeah, it can become difficult for sure.
Spooky stuff. Yep.
But anyway, I'm excited. Can't wait. I cannot wait to learn more about Epic Universe, and I just can't wait for it to open. That is going to do it for the news. That was a lot of
All
information.
right. We're done. All right. See y'all next week.
I know that that was a lot for you. Thank you for bearing with that, Hunter. I appreciate it. We are now going to go into our This or That Disney Dad Edition
Oh, now we start
segment.
the episode.
Now you can officially do the reason why you're here. No, we'll just roll through these. There are a lot of them. Like I said, you guys were fantastic and you submitted so many of them. We're just going to go rapid fire here. We don't have to spend a lot of time on like
As
discussion if we don't have time for it, but
long as
um,
we disagree, then we'll argue about it.
I hope we agree on some of these things. All right. So
Should I
we're
keep
just
a
gonna go.
count?
We're
Should I
gonna
keep a tally?
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no.
keep a tally on how many we agree versus disagree.
All right, we're gonna jump right into it. First one, a break from the heat. One man's dream or Star Wars launch bay.
One man's dream. Star Wars launch bay is it's why is it even there anymore?
Yeah, I mean, I love that you can meet some of the OG Star Wars characters there, and by that I mean Darth Vader, because everybody else you can kind of see, except for BB-8, you can see in Galaxy's Edge. But I'd go One Man's Dream as well. I love that they change up the shows. I love that they have I love like the like leading up to the theater inside of One Man's Dream. I love all of the information that they give you about Disney Parks history. I love it in there. It's great.
Yep.
Look at that.
The
We agreed.
multiplane camera is not real. Learn
Oh,
that on our D23 tour.
oh, I
They're
missed
like,
that.
there is one at One Man's Dream, but it is a replica. and the one at the Marvel Studio on the studio lot is the
The
real
real
one.
deal. Wow.
And there's another real one, I think, like in an archive somewhere. But yeah, they did clarify that that's replica,
Wow.
unfortunately.
Very
I've
cool.
been fooled, bamboozled.
Yeah, but I one man's dream all day. Look at us. We agreed on the first one.
All right, that's one.
Fanny pack or backpack?
Fanny pack.
Yeah, I'm going fanny pack too.
All right, that's two. Look at us. We're rolling.
I think that they are more functional.
You can't fit
Dole,
as much, but yeah,
yeah.
lugging a backpack's just not ideal.
Yeah, sometimes I have to do it, like if I have my laptop with me or something, but usually a fanny pack.
Mhm.
Dole Whip or cheeseburger spring rolls?
Dole Whip.
Do you
Cheeseburger
know?
spring rolls. I feel like I have not had the pleasure, but I feel like they would be tasty.
Oh, you've never
Hold
had
on.
one?
What is inside a cheeseburger spring roll? Are there pickles? If there are, I'm out.
I don't remember if there are pickles or not, but I think you would like the pepperoni pizza spring roll too. I
Potentially.
guess that's not the question, but
I guess we're adjusting the question.
I'm surprised you've never had one.
No, where do you
What?
find such a thing?
What? Who are you?
Where do you get them?
How do you do the happiest podcast
I'm
on earth and you
representing
don't know this
the
information?
listeners here. Where do you get
No,
this?
the listeners are angry right now because
No,
they
where do
know
you
this is an iconic Magic Kingdom snack. In
Magic
fact,
Kingdom? I've
y-
never seen it in Magic Kingdom.
what? In fact, we were talking about this. I was at this
So we're
event
disagreeing on this
hanging out with
one.
some of the content creators. I don't know though. I don't know if I would pick them over Dole Whip. Dole Whip's classic. It's iconic. Yeah, but I'd probably pick it because we said, what is your your Mount Rushmore of Disney snacks? And I think I put cheeseburger spring rolls on there. So
Wow.
yeah.
I
I had them
Where at
today.
Magic Kingdom do you buy them?
There's a cart with the spring rolls right outside of the entrance of Adventureland.
Oh, wow. I've never known that existed,
I am
to be honest.
shocked. I'm
It's probably
shook.
because if I get a snack in Magic Kingdom, it's a churro.
Wow,
That's
I'm
it.
shook. I'm shook right now.
I'm gonna have to try one.
Yeah, when you come down after our Harry Potter movie marathon and after we go to the Wizarding
In
World,
the middle of our Harry
we'll
Potter
hop
movie
over to
marathon, you're
Magic
like, we
Kingdom
need a break.
and get cheeseburger spring rolls. All right.
So your spring cheeseburger or your Dole Whip?
Cheeseburger.
Yep, there's a disagree.
All right. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Peter Pan?
Oh, what about you?
I'm gonna go Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Mm.
Peter Pan is one of my favorite Disney movies, but it's the joy that comes from my kids' faces on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train that
You don't get a lot on Seven Doors Mine Train. You
you
know, it's
really do
quick.
though. It's like such a good story inside of the
Such a
mines.
good story.
Yeah, the mines are
There's
so
one
fun.
show element.
Oh, I love it.
Thunder
No,
Mountain has
two. There's two
multiple.
show elements. The ending with Snow White in the
As you're
cottage
in the
dancing.
break section waiting to go into the station.
Yeah, it's fun. You're clapping along, having a good time. Have to hide your kid's eyes from the witch standing outside the door and
That
knocking.
witch did jump scare me my first time. No, it was bad.
It's
But
good.
I'm gonna go Peter Pan.
You did that intentionally.
I don't think Seven Doors offers as much as what people think it
I
does.
love Peter Pan. I love
And
Seven.
my knees hit the front of the mine cart in Seven Doors. My knees are too big.
Too
So it's
tall.
uncomfortable. I have to sit to the side.
Just wait until Bash rides it for the first time. You'll have different opinions, I think.
He's Goofy Barnstormer for life.
No, he has to do Mine Train eventually. That's like the
Ooh,
next step. That's the step
that
up
may
from
be his next
Barnstorming.
one. I gotta check
Yeah.
his height. I always check his height with a tape measure
Yeah.
to kind
I
of
bet
see
he's
how we're tracking.
yeah.
But
That tracks. All right, rope drop or close the parks.
rope drop.
No, not me.
Not me, fam.
Nah, fam. I'm closing the parks down. I
I'll
honestly
do
can say
both. I'll do both, but nothing beats
mm,
walking into a park as the sun rises. Ideally overcast, 68 degrees. Actually, 66 degrees. And it just when the pathways are all water, kind of wet, some puddles, maybe there's a light morning dew. The birds are singing, and it's just gonna be a good day.
Hunter's a
Because
morning person. I am
in the
not.
morning, you know there's so much lying ahead of you. There's so much excitement. What could this day be? In the evening rope drop, wow, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. And
Not
there's
me.
nothing left for me here. That's basically what goes through your mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna say definitely I'm closing the parks down.
We disagree.
I'm not a morning person, so
Yeah.
I honestly can say that I have not rope dropped that many times in my life because
Gosh. Bonus if you get a breakfast reservation before rope drop and you get to go in before rope drop. That is the best.
no,
Do
thank you.
it.
Nah,
Tusker House, breakfast buffet, 7 a.m. Book it now.
no, no, no.
It's the best.
7 a.m. breakfast reservations are not happening in my
Oh, it's
Disney trips.
amazing.
No, 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 no. Anyways, okay. Living with the land or people mover? We're
Oh,
going to
living
be
with the
opposite.
land.
Yeah, we're going to be opposite here. People mover all day.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Huh.
Living with the land, I don't mind it. It's fine, but there's just something about people mover when you get to like go over Tomorrowland and you see all the fun that's being had beneath you, and then you get to like go around the corner and see the castle. It's just a great time.
Which one has the more comfortable seat?
I would argue
Because
that
the
people
benches
mover,
of living with the land do kind of
they are
leave me
not
in a little bit
comfortable.
of pain.
They are not comfortable. Yeah, I would say people mover, especially if no one sits across from you.
Does
You can
People
like
Mover have a cushion or is it just a
no,
hard bench? It's a
yeah,
hard
it's a
bench.
hard bench. Yeah.
Yeah, you can put your feet up on People Mover. I do appreciate
Sometimes,
that.
yeah, if
Yeah.
there's nobody like across from you, you can do that. Yeah.
Oh, I do it when there's people across from me. You're
Well,
not
it
supposed to do
depends on
that?
like, well, I guess it depends on if they're like your
No,
family. If
full
they're like
row.
strangers,
I don't even know them. I just put my feet up.
you would never do that.
I'd be too embarrassed.
Yeah. All right. This one we can't do because
Yeah.
you've never seen it. We disagree.
I have an opinion still. I guarantee it.
Disney Springs drone show, so Disney Dreams That
Okay.
Soar or Phantasmic.
I'd say Phantasmic is scary. Very scary. We talked about this on,
On
on
your
HBO.
on last episode of Happiest Podcast, yeah.
It's the result of childhood trauma for me, to be honest.
I really don't think it's that scary. I'm gonna go Phantasmic here because I love Disney Dreams That Soar. It's phenomenal, but there's a whole story to
It's not a
Phantasmic.
full show. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
a. I mean, it is a full show, but it's not
Right.
like to the
No,
scale.
we've
I'll
got characters. It's a
yeah.
full, yeah, there's so
I'll
much
still
to
say Phantasmic also,
yeah.
even though it
But
caused
th-
many nightmares of me getting chased by a snake, by a giant snake.
I really don't think though, like I don't want to take away from Disney Dreams That Soar though, because it's phenomenal and I love that
No.
it's at Disney Springs. Okay, let's go to Dinosaur or Indiana Jones.
I mean, you got to do Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I'd pick Indiana Jones as well.
But Dinosaur and Indiana Jones, like either of them against other things, dinosaurs win in most of those battles, but Indiana Jones beats it out
Yeah,
slightly.
yeah. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin or Toy Story Midway Mania.
Ooh. Mm,
I'm gonna go Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin just because I love getting Galactic Hero. I like Toy Story Mania, but I sometimes it hurts.
I feel like I don't get the satisfaction that I'm looking for in Toy Story Mania because I'm always not the best.
I did beat you on our Disneyland trip.
Like you can do Buzz and you can feel good about your score at the end and it's
Yeah.
not flashing a score like this is the best of the day. You're
Yeah.
not that. And like you still feel good about that. But when I do Toy Story Mania, I've had some where I'm like, oh, I'm good. And I always get that dang raccoon every time. That's where I live, right there on Mr. Raccoon.
Can't get anything better than that.
I
I really,
can't, no
I
matter what I
really,
do.
Space Ranger Spin to me, I love it. I think that attraction is fantastic. People will say that it needs to go, but I hope it never does. I love how like 90s it is. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I agree.
Art of Animation or Pop Century? I'm
Art.
going to Art of Animation for
Oh,
sure.
look at us. Art of Animation.
Theming, it's better. There's
Yep.
more. I mean, it's Disney IP versus non-Disney IP, but yeah, I like it. The pools
Yep.
are fun.
I'm not a hotel pool guy.
Okay, may it rest in peace, but Test Track in its current form, I guess current, so as we're
Hmm.
recording this, versus Tomorrowland Speedway.
Anything. I'll take anything.
Wow, Tomorrowland
Tomorrowland
Speedway over
Speedway,
Test Track.
guaranteed.
I think I'd pick Tomorrowland Speedway over Test Track as well.
Oh my gosh. You're just doing this on purpose.
No, no, no. I legitimately think like I think about the ride experience with that, and it's so much fun. The boys
And
love it.
let me be very clear. Tomorrowland Speedway is not that fun,
No,
but it's better than that test track,
I
that
enjoy
downhill
it.
test
I
track.
would say definitely I would pick wow, the name just totally escaped me. What is Disneyland's Tomorrowland Speedway?
Autopia.
Autopia. I would pick Autopia over Tomorrowland Speedway for sure.
Yeah. The off-road portions.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Jeff Kiss.
We had fun riding that together.
We did.
But when Nick rides attractions, he like bumps into the person next to him, and Hunter was not a fan of that.
I don't like playing Jello.
I like to play Jello, but oh, that's the difference one right there. Jello or no Jello on a
No
Disney ride.
Jello. No
It's so
Jello for me.
fun. It's such a good
No,
time. Just
no,
being
it's not
weightless,
fun.
like letting yourself like
Weightless. No, I don't like it.
I don't understand. There's some sort of trauma there. We'll unpack that later.
Yeah, I
Um,
got beat up by playing Jello with friends, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, something happened. Monorail or ferry to the Magic Kingdom?
Monorail.
Monorail. See?
Oh
Look
man,
at
look at
us.
us. Look at us.
We've come so far. Um,
The ferry's great, but I mean, just it is brutal. Whenever that thing is packed full, the absolute mass of people trying to get off that and getting packed onto that is tough to deal with.
yeah, yeah.
But
I know what you would pick for this one. Big Thunder or Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Big Thunder.
I'd pick Big Thunder too.
No. You have to start answering first now, because we're supposed to be disagreeing.
Okay, would you rather build a snowman with Anna or Elsa? I would absolutely be picking Anna in this situation. Elsa is going to be like,
Elsa for logistics, I mean, you can build a much bigger snowman.
no, Elsa is going to
Anna
be
has no ice powers.
Elsa, Anna and I are we are of the same energy, and so we will definitely have a lot more fun together. Elsa, maybe Elsa would appreciate me like breaking her out of her like comfort. Like she seems so reserved. So maybe I
That's
could help with
okay.
that. Yeah.
I'd build a snowman. We wouldn't say a word to each other.
That's so awful.
Just be like, more ice, please.
Good job.
Hey, thanks. Great job on this.
Oh
Teamwork.
dear. All right, afternoon activity when you're staying on property. This goes against what you believe in. You would pick neither of these things because you would not take a break. But if you're taking a break, are you going to nap back at the room or are you going to go
Mm.
to the pool?
No pool for me.
Why?
I just, you can swim in a pool at home.
No,
I
don't.
honestly don't have a pool at my home, but my parents do, and you can get pool time there.
No, it's not the
Like,
same. It is not the
why do I
same.
want to go get chlorine-filled
Stop it.
eyeballs just to be more tired, then go out in the park? A pool is not a
Because
break.
it is a break from the heat in the Florida summer. That
You're
is for sure.
outside.
You're in the water.
No, we're gonna disagree on this one.
I don't want to go back and nap because if I nap, that means I'm having to shower. I can't go back to the hotel
Oh
room.
yeah. Oh, your rules do not get in your hotel bed.
No.
If you go from the park to your hotel bed, I will be leaving the room. We had this talk when we went on our Disneyland trip.
Yeah, and
Was
it
that
was
last year we
it
went on our
was
Disneyland
yeah,
trip?
it was last
That's
year.
it
And that
feels
was
like it
one of the
was 10
things
years
that
ago.
worked out well for us because we were all crammed into that room and you and I slept in close
Yeah.
quarters and we had that agreement. It was like
You
I
come into
don't
the room and they're like, I'm so tired.
and they
Lay
just
down for a second. I'm like, do not
oh, I would
get on
never.
that bed.
No, if anything, I'm sitting at the very edge of the bed because I know that like that part of the comforter is not going to touch me. But that's like worst case scenario right there. So
I can't.
I'll sit on the floor.
Don't get me started. Someone just kicks their shoes off, keeps their park socks on, and just slides into bed.
No,
Ah!
no, it's disgusting.
Oh, I just got the rabbit ran over my grave.
I can't do it. Kudos for those who can be that comfortable, but I would never be able to do that. So I'm gonna go swimming,
Just make me a germaphobe,
and then I'll
probably.
probably shower after I get into the pool
Yeah,
before I go back to the park, and then I'm gonna end up having to shower again. But I like to feel fresh and clean when I go back to the parks.
yeah. I'd
Yeah.
sit on the couch at the room if it is one of those. If I'm lucky enough to have one of those rooms with the bed and the couch or chair.
But also, you can't say that swimming at home is the same as swimming as at a Disney pool because Disney pools are themed. There's a slide. You just haven't. You need to take Bash
What
again
do I need to do?
as he gets older. As he gets older, you need to bring him
Oh, there's
back again,
way.
and
No,
he will love the
we'd literally
pool.
be taking him to a nap. That's he has nap time.
Well, as he gets older, those nap times will become shorter and shorter, and
Mm.
then they'll drift into nothingness.
I
So,
see if you do a pool, it's when you have like your first day or your last day where you don't have a park ticket and you're either going to Disney Springs or the pool. Like that's the
or it's
only exception.
the
But
middle of
a
summer. Yes,
midday
middle of
pool
summer.
is
You've been at the park all morning. You're so hot.
okay.
You go back
This
to,
this is coming from traveling from Texas once a year, if that, family vacation, Hunter. No. And oh, here's where it probably comes from. We always would stay at my grandparents' house in like I
well,
think they
yeah,
lived in like Leesburg and they had a pool at their little
sure.
housing, like at their community pool. And we would have a day where we would stay with them, hang out, go to the pool. We would
Yeah, but you're not
never,
going to do midday breaks to Leesburg for sure. But if you're staying
well,
on
no, but I
property,
never stayed at Disney resorts
right? So you,
until,
so you
I
can't even
mean,
answer
really
this question.
ever. Until like after 2015. I did my college program, and then whenever I went back on my own, I mean, I
Yeah, but
stayed All
those
Star for 112
sure.
bucks back
And
in the
those
day.
theme park experiences were a lot, those were a lot different for you. Your priorities were not the regular theme park experience.
When
You
I'm
were
at
like,
Disney, well, when I'm at Disney World, I'm there to Disney World, not to swim in a pool with some
yeah, but even when you were doing
cheap
like,
statues all around it.
even when you were doing trips with like the cast from the Happiest Podcast, you guys' priorities were not like the
Relaxation.
no, the typical things. I mean, typical, I guess, for like certain groups of people for sure, but it
No,
wasn't like a standard family vacation type of trip. So
yeah,
I'm gonna say
still
go to
team no pool,
go to
but
the pool. Festival of the Arts or Food and Wine?
food and wine.
No, Festival of the Arts for me.
Oh,
I want Food and Wine to be better because I love the food at Food and Wine, but there's just not enough interaction with the festival like they used to have. Like I want more. And maybe we will get that now that we have CommuniCore and stuff, but
I feel like my palate just aligns with food and wine. Like the more like fall, like hearty food options. My
yeah.
filet. Do they have the filet mignon for farts also?
No, I don't think so. They
I
have
do like my filet mignon from Canada, the little mini one, and
yeah.
then the pretzel bun bratwurst from Germany. Those are two of my musts every
Yeah.
time.
I just love Festival of the Arts. I love the art. I love that it's interactive. I love that kids can draw chalk on the sidewalks. I love the artists
Wow, it's
when
sounding so exciting.
okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. The way that you said draw chalk on the ground.
They can use
You
chalk
ever
on the
heard of a
sidewalk.
driveway?
Okay, I'm done. Up next, we've got Mission
Farts is
Space.
great. Hey, farts is cool. I like looking at the
You
different
can
booths
paint squares.
and
There's so much art for sale.
not having enough money to buy any of the paintings
Oh,
that look so cool.
you can buy some of the like prints of the paintings.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to only buy the originals.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
never
I
mind.
mean, people can for sure if they can, by all means, but I buy the prints.
Okay.
Mission Space or Rock and Roller Coaster? You would pick Mission Space, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
This is
Well,
easy for
going,
me.
yeah,
Rock
I'd have to pick Mission Space.
no. Rock and Roller Coaster. Mission Space, in my opinion, is the attraction that can like go away tomorrow, and I'm totally fine if it does.
Well, don't get me wrong. I love Rock and Roller Coaster also. They're both very good. But Mission Space, and this is just me, little physics major, little kid hunter wanting to be an astronaut one day. It just hit better, hit
Yeah,
harder.
I get that.
Yeah.
Kudos. I'm
Walking
glad that it has that for
the
the
centrifugal space station there. And then what really I thought was the coolest thing, which realizing now it really wasn't that cool, was right before you get to merge or load, or it's merge. You look off to the right to the control room, and I was like, those people are actually working on sending people to space. And now I know it's just like a cast member on their break or at dispatch or something, just sitting there pretending
Hey, look at
at the
though. Your
desk. But
imagination was running. I love that.
I feel like yeah, it
Yeah,
it sparked Mission Space sparked my imagination more than Rock and Roller Coaster did, for sure.
I get that. I mean, I love Rock and Roller Coaster, but I just don't like Mission Space. So,
Yeah,
um,
not for everyone.
resort pool day or water park day?
I'd rather go to a water park. At least you're being intentional to go down some slides.
You can go down a slide at the
Oh, but
resort.
at a water park, those are cooler slides.
Yeah, I think
Water park for sure for me.
I don't know. I struggle with this one. I think I'll probably pick. No, you know what? I'm gonna go on principle and go with the resort pool day
Mm.
because you don't have to pay for it. You're already staying at the resort, and
If
so
it's free.
take advantage of it's not technically free, but take advantage of what's already been given to you as opposed to paying for a water park ticket.
Okay.
Yeah. Although I don't have anything against going to the water parks. And pretty soon on your check-in and check-out dates at a Walt Disney World resort, you'll be able to go to the water park, it being included in your check-in and check-out dates. Did you know
Where
that?
does this come from?
Yeah, this is what they're doing. I think it's starting sometime in 2025. I don't know that we have a specific date yet on it, but on your
Wow, they planned it all
check-in,
the way out to 2025.
yeah, if you check in and check-out date, you can basically check into the resort, drop off your luggage, and go to the water park for the day.
Hmm,
Complimentary as included with
interesting.
your resort stay. So,
Very interesting.
let's see. Souvenir for your child, bubble wand or giant lollipop?
Bubble wand, less sugar.
Stickiness. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the bubble wand as well. Those giant
Okay.
lollipops are
That's
potentially
wait,
dangerous. But I
more
did
same amount of stickiness, obviously. Bubble wand
yeah,
to lollipop.
yeah.
So
But different type of stickiness. The bubble one or the I did see recently though that the lollipops they started selling a like lollipop case at Walt
yeah,
Disney
because
World.
a kid never finished.
No,
I've never
no,
seen a kid finish one of
no, of
those.
course not. But when I was a kid, I loved getting those. That was like the highlight. It was a treat.
Really.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what I got as a kid. I don't know.
Pins, probably pins.
Oh yes. Oh, we always got to pick a pin.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Let's see. A lot of these are repetitive. So Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party?
Not so scary.
Really?
Yeah. Why
Interesting.
not?
I don't know. I didn't think you were going to go there. I'd go Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, that shouldn't be a surprise.
Uh,
Mickey Mouse ear hat or the Goofy hat? You're not wearing either of them.
Neither.
But if you had to pick which one to
I
wear,
own zero pairs of Mickey ears, and
I did.
honestly, I tried the Jar Jar Binks hat, and if it's anything like the Goofy hat, it's just it's tough to have those things flapping on the side of your head for a day. Okay,
That is the Goofy hat
get
for
it?
sure.
It's fun,
It's
but
not Mickey ear, it's like the band. It's like the circular Mickey ear hat. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like the classic
yeah,
original
the
Mickey
one
ear
that
hat.
fits on like the
Yeah,
cap of your head. Yeah,
yeah. Which one would you wear?
those ones aren't very comfortable.
No, because then you have to have like a strap going under your neck.
Yeah,
I'm
give
I'm
me the
going
Goofy hat,
Goofy
the
hat.
snapback Goofy hat for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I'm going Goofy hat as well.
All right, we agree. Fantastic. Yeah,
Uh,
I just think of that thin string just around the underside of your neck, and it's just not comfortable.
this is an interesting one. Would you rather your kid be scared of roller coasters or dark rides? I wouldn't rather my kid be scared of anything.
Yeah.
But
Would you rather? Hmm.
hmm,
I was scared of roller coasters. Cried
yeah.
my head off first
I don't
time
know.
riding
I
Space
don't want my
Mountain.
kid to be scared of either. I want them to be able to experience both of them.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go third way on that one and say that. Do you start in Mexico or start in Mexico or
We're just
Canada?
breezing through. I was gonna elaborate on my childhood fears.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I only rode the like the Wile E. Coyote roller coaster at Six Flags Over Texas until I was probably like way too old.
I'm
All
proud of you.
because I went on Judge Roy Scream a few years too early. Was not ready for it.
I'm proud of you for overcoming that fear. Do you still
Yeah.
get nervous before new coasters?
No,
Really?
no, like Velocicoaster,
You were fine.
I could have closed my eyes and just like, or just done like the straight face challenge where you just ride it like, I feel like, yeah, I don't feel like I do not like towers though. I hate towers.
Okay. So like
Superman, Doom,
Doctor
Doctor
Doom's
Doom.
free fall. Hmm.
Don't Not a fan of those. I'll do it probably, but
I
you know,
I don't love them either. I don't like heights, so count me out on
yeah.
that.
I used to be scared of heights, flying, elevators, bridges, and roller coasters, but now I kind of feel like I run towards them a lot.
How did you overcome that fear?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I
Yeah,
know thinking Tower of Terror was how elevators worked, was what did it for me on elevators to
you had to
start the fear.
you had to
Um,
understand the system.
yeah, I think just yeah,
Interesting.
being I'm technically minded. I like to figure out how things worked. I watched a lot of popular mechanics for kids, and maybe I was just like, you know what, this stuff's cool and it works just like anything else.
I love it.
But yeah,
I don't think I could. I don't think that having information would help me in my fear of heights. I think it's just what I'm gonna have to live with for the rest of
you
my
kind of
life.
just got to do it. You got
I've
to
just
climb a
accepted it.
mountain. You
No,
got to go climb a mountain together, and you can hang off the side.
no, absolutely not.
It's fun. It's
No,
fun.
it doesn't sound fun. Um, all right. Let's
Did
see.
we
Just
agree or disagree on that? I don't know. Yeah, we agree. No childhood fears.
yeah. I'm gonna. Okay. Do you start in Mexico or Canada?
Mexico.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Let's see. We'll just do a couple more of these. Pixar Pier or Toy Story Land? Psh, Pixar Pier.
Yeah, the Toy Story Land don't have a whole lot to offer.
I love Toy
Pixar
Story
Pier.
Land. I do. I love it. But
Comparatively to Pixar Pier,
yeah,
that's
Pixar
like
Pier is
if,
one of my favorite like areas of any Disney park. So
yeah, Slinky Dog is not comparable to Incredicoaster by any means.
no, 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 not at all. Um, let's see. It's tough to be a bug or Muppet Vision 3D.
Oh, it's
I
tough
don't
to be a bug.
I don't
Another
particularly want
childhood trauma right there.
I
Give
don't
me Muppet
particularly want
Vision.
either of these things.
I love Muppet Vision.
Your
I
child
think it's
has
great.
now childhood trauma from Muppet Vision.
Oh, that's right. He hates what's his name? Waldo.
Yeah,
He's so scared of Waldo. It
yeah,
was so bad. I felt
yeah.
so terrible. He
You
came out, I think he came out the first time and he was oddly quiet. And then we were just like, And then he came out the second time. He's like, I don't like that. I don't like him. I was just like, it's okay. He's just, and that's as he's doing the, bouncing on people's head. He like gets in personal space. He took the glasses off and was like,
Poor
no,
Bash.
he's touching me.
That's gonna be his. It's tough to be a bug.
Yeah, well, it was the little bugs on your seat
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah. Which that's
That's
gonna be
tough to be a
going away,
bug.
I would say, very soon.
Yep, yep.
All right, couple more. Let's see. Carousel of Progress or Pirates of the Caribbean? That's easy.
Yeah, you gotta do pirates.
Yeah, Pirates for sure. For me, maybe other people would disagree, maybe.
Carousel's great, nothing against it, but pirates
Yeah,
is just better.
yeah. This one's funny. Dad packs on fries or have your own serving?
What?
You know, dad tax, like if you buy a
Oh,
side of fries for the boys, then you're like, "Eh."
no, I'm getting my own serving. I gotta fill the tank.
Honestly, I'm probably going dad tax.
I'm the type of person who doesn't consistently snack. Like when it's time to eat, we're eating.
Yeah.
So give me my own serving, and that's I do say that, but we stopped and got Chick-fil-A the other day. Me and Bash and I did a dad tax on his little fries. I was
See?
like, hey, buddy, put the hand in the back seat. Hey, why don't you hand one of those fries up? He went, oh, okay. There's the dad
Oh,
tax.
I mean, at least you gave him the stuff. I
Well,
take the
he had his
tax.
own fries. Yeah.
Yeah, but I take it before it's even passed to the back seat.
Oh, I did that for 3 fries, but
Oh,
he didn't
see?
know I took it. And then I was like, those are actually pretty good. I want a
That's
couple
the
more.
dad tax. Someone didn't ask a question. They just literally put Hunter with tons of exclamation points. So shout out.
That's me.
It's interesting because I don't remember saying you specifically were going to be on this episode. So maybe they just knew. Kudos to them.
It's like the dad's assembled
Brave or up?
up,
Yeah, same.
of course.
Peter Pan or Robin Hood?
Robin Hood,
Hmm.
specifically the animal version
Well,
with
yeah,
the fox. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Animated movies.
Prince of, or what was the other one? The
Well, we're
goofy
going
one?
we're going Disney movies
What was
here.
the goofy one?
I
Men in
don't know.
Tights? Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yeah, I
Remember
think
that?
so. Yeah.
That was, I watched that when I was too young, for sure.
I'm gonna go Peter Pan.
Okay, we
Um,
disagree. Men in tights. Does anybody remember that?
they'll know. They'll know. Tower of Terror or Rise of the Resistance? Mine's Rise of the Resistance. I love Tower of Terror, but Rise.
Um, yeah, Rise, fine.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Mr. Incredible or Mufasa?
Like in a fight or
No, no, no. Just like as a character.
oh, Mr. Incredible, I guess.
Yeah, no, Mufasa all day, every day. He's the goat of Disney dads. Yeah,
So
hands down.
all Mr. Incredible needed to do was die in the first half hour and he'd be just as
Okay.
good. Or
Whoa, that
I
was
mean, I feel
uncalled
like we get a
for.
little bit more of an arc with Mr.
No,
Incredible.
maybe, but Mufasa was iconic, and the bonding that he had with Simba before he tragically passed away is still haunts me to this day. So, no, Mufasa for sure. I love Mr. Incredible. No, no diss there, but Mufasa is the ultimate Disney dad.
We
And
don't see a lot of Mufasa in the parks.
when he says at the end of Happily Ever After, remember who you are, it is like what gets Nick crying immediately.
Hmm.
And I bet we see more Mufasa with the new movie coming out this year. So
All right.
camping
Disagree.
with camping with Goofy or training with Mr. Incredible.
Well, if you go camping with Goofy, you're gonna run some issues. You probably forgot the tent poles, the batteries are backwards in the flashlight. It's just not gonna work out. So training with Mr. Incredible.
I am definitely going camping with Goofy.
You ain't sleeping in a tent. You're gonna
That's fine. I think we'll have
be on the
more fun
ground.
together. The idea of having to train with Mr. Incredible sounds like a nightmare to me. So
It's just a spectacle to behold. You're there to observe at that point.
no, he's gonna be like, do this. And I'm like, I don't want to.
No, you're acting like Mr. Incredible's a jerk. He's a great dad.
Maybe it's because I just don't have good experiences doing training things with people.
All
So
right. All right. Touche.
like doing walks at parks early in the morning before the park opens
Well,
when you're a resort guest.
I tried to push you, but I was only trying to get the best out of you.
That's a deep cut for Happiest Podcast. You'll have to go listen to that. All right, we're gonna end it with this. Marlin or Pongo?
Pongo. Pongo for the bear?
No, man. Pongo is the
Pongo, do you know who I'm talking about? The bear who wears that has the circus bear from the short. Oh, it's Silly Symphony's bear.
Mm,
Pongo.
oh, maybe,
Here
I don't know.
we have Pongo.
Pongo is the dog dad in 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, I was thinking Pongo the bear from Silly Symphonies.
Marlin or Pongo? I probably relate to Marlin more. There's not a lot of relating you can do with Pongo. We don't get a lot of his personality. He just goes searching for his kids.
Well, both of them have a habit of losing children,
Okay,
so
okay. Well, first of all, Pongo's kids are taken from him.
I
Um,
honestly don't feel like Pongo does a whole lot when he
I mean,
does
he
lose
like
his children.
starts the Twilight bark. He definitely does. They like go all over the place looking for those kiddos. So Pongo's definitely kudos for being a great dad, but um, I just
Hmm.
relate to Marlin a lot. He's stressed out.
All right. I'd say Marlin. I mean, he swam across the whole ocean.
Right, right.
Pongo just ran down the street.
Okay, he did not just run down the street.
It was still in the same neighborhood
He
or
helped
city.
he helped disguise the kids. There's a lot. There's a lot. And it wasn't in the
Well,
city. They had to go out into the countryside. You don't remember 101
in the live
Dalmatians.
action 101 Dalmatians? Is that what you're talking about?
No, 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 the classics, man.
Or no,
We're
it was
going
like 100,
animated.
was it 102 Dalmatians?
There
That's
was
the
a
one that I'm thinking of.
uh
Pongo was non-existent. He did
well,
nothing.
you were thinking of the wrong movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I said that was the last one. This will be the last one. We'll end it on this. Do you prefer taking your time at the parks or going in with a set plan?
Mm, if I'm by myself, I'll take my time.
Yeah.
If I'm entertaining
Good to have a
I'll
plan.
set a slight plan. But I'm not a Genie Plus
Yeah,
user person.
yeah.
Like I don't have it down, unfortunately. Mainly because other people do it for me whenever I go. But
You can
you
have a
know,
plan without using Genie Plus, I think too. But
yeah.
I
But
think,
I'll book a lunch reservation day of, which is a
yeah,
great time to book them,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. A
So
lot more opens up at that point.
yeah, I'll plan ahead for sci-fi dining, and that's it.
Yeah,
That is the one thing I plan for, and
that's
I
your
will
go-to
change. I will pick my park days based off of that.
when that's available.
Yes,
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I helped you get your reservation for the last one. So,
you're good at
uh,
doing reservations.
I like to make a plan. Although I can wing it too. We had no plans today when we went to Magic Kingdom. We showed up. We didn't even know if we were going to be able to get into the park today. And so we were able to make it
Well,
in. We were
yeah,
able to,
you're a special circumstance too, though. Like
sure,
if
yeah, we
your
can go
day goes
whenever.
to ruin, you didn't just,
But
waste
I feel that way
your
when I go to
flight and your vacation time. Like it's
yeah,
just
when I go to Disneyland,
go
I
with the
feel that
flow.
way too. I kind of like to just go with the flow, take my time when I go to Disneyland. So,
Yeah, I feel like we went with the flow when we went.
yeah, part of that I had to. But yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for
Well,
being here. Appreciate it.
we agreed and disagreed. I lost count, but roughly 50-50.
Okay,
So
well that's pretty good.
we're not
I'd
all that
say
different after all.
if we would have done this over a year ago, I bet we would have disagreed on a lot more.
Oh yeah.
I'm bringing you over to the dark side, actually the
Well,
light side.
you say that, but we like what we like, and I'm not like changing what I
Yeah, no,
like.
neither am I.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If it was more, well, I guess those were opinionated questions, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
just
Well, I
whatever.
think too, it's been really encouraging and fun to watch you like we're gonna get sentimental here for a second, but to watch you like blossom into your role as a father as well. Like I got to know you. Obviously, we did our first podcast together when Bash was like 4 months old, but also, and that was 3 years ago. So, but also just watching you like before that, being a fan of Happiest Podcast, watching you and listening to your story, it's been cool. You're doing a great job as a dad. I'm proud of you. I tell you that often, but I really truly mean that. It's very encouraging to see how much passion you have for your family, for your kid. Hunter is the type of person, I'm going to sing your praises for a second, but Hunter's the type of
I have nothing prepared to go
you don't
back.
I don't need anything back. Hunter's the type of person, he's the type of dad who is so passionate about taking care of his family that he will exhaust himself to no end to do that. He's going to fight for his job at work. He's going to do everything that he possibly can to make sure that his family is taken care of. And I think he's putting even more pressure on himself now as he steps into growing his family and as the kiddos double. And so I just know
Double
that
trouble. No, I'm just kidding.
I know the amount of pressure that you put on yourself for that, and I just want to say you're doing a good job with it. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud to know you. I'm proud to call you my best friend, and you're doing a good job, bud.
Well, thanks. And you're a good dad too.
Thanks. You handle those things like Tim would, so it's like he's not even gone. Anyways, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being a guest, and thank you all for listening. Stay tuned. Next week we'll be back, and Tim and I will be reunited in the flesh, and we'll be recording together, breaking down his Disney cruise, and so much more. So stay tuned for that, Hunter. Again, I appreciate you, bud.
Bye bye. Thanks for
And
having me.
if you
I
do, if you
appreciate. I'm
guys,
happy
if
to be on.
oh, it's been a blast. If you guys want to
If
check
I'm
out
allowed back, everybody let me know.
there's a couple things I want to say too. If you
Hope I
want to
didn't
check
outstay
out
my welcome.
no, if you want to check out Happy's podcast on Earth, go check it out. It's on Instagram. They've got obviously wherever you find your podcasts, they're there. But Hunter in particular does a fantastic job of planning game days. They're called Hunter Game Days. They're
We're
so much
about due
fun.
for another one.
They'll be probably playing another one soon. You heard it here first. And he's brilliant in terms of planning these games. So just if you want to go listen to one of them, just scroll through the episode list on Happiest Podcast and you'll see Hunter Game Day and they're a blast to listen to. So go check it out. And at one point I want to have you back to plan an articulated game day for us here on the pod. So
Hmm. I'm ready to get the stresses going. Get into a
they're very
stressful
stressful.
episode.
They're very stressful for
You ain't
sure.
sweating. It's not a good game day.
We'll have to do that. Me versus Tim in a game day sometime soon. But love you,
Yep.
buddy. Appreciate you.
Love
And
you,
we
man.
will talk to you all real soon. Thank you for tracking with us.
That tracks.